Oh, we're back again.
Yep.
Off topic.
Yep.
Second one.
Thank you very much.
Give him a coaster.
Yeah. My bad.
You're anal about coasters?
First off, we got somebody on here. You said it wasn't never going to be on here for off topic.
Jay Smith.
Jay Smith.
Well,
I was actually invited to this one.
Which is amazing because I wouldn't have wanted to invite him.
That helps.
Yeah, I don't.
That's true.
I don't want him here.
No, he just kind of showed up.
And I'm refusing to leave until we get an off-topic done.
We also have another guest.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is, well, let's go ahead and redact that. And I'm from the upstate.
There you go.
We tried that. We just gave up on it.
Oh, Rusty Shackelford over here.
But yeah, this is off topic where we talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Cussing already. I'm not used to big boy words.
I try to be the first to cuss on every, So how about them shootings?
All right. So I guess
we've moved it to this one.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one. So one of the latest ones that I guess is getting some traction.
Talking about the AR one.
Yeah, and that people are saying, oh, nobody said anything because it's a white man that got shot. It's the one, I guess they're in a hotel room, and male and female come out of a room into the hallway. The police give them directives to get on the floor.
A lot of confusing directives.
Somewhat confusing. I will say that. And then they end up shooting the guy when he reaches to his right side.
Yeah.
Now, if you watch it, people are saying, "Oh, the cop murdered him. How can he be found, acquitted or found not guilty, whatever?"
I haven't seen many of these things, so I'm just listening right now.
Okay.
Last one I heard about was Mandalay Bay, and that was a while ago.
This was. Well, go ahead. He's telling it. Go ahead. Set it up for us.
I have not researched the whole background of it. One little bit I saw said it was basically a guy who was in town to do some pest control work. Mm-hmm. I guess there was a Walmart or something had some birds. I don't know if storeroom or where, but
he had an air gun.
He had an air gun, and he, I guess, invited some people into his room to show him the air gun, and someone saw it through a window and called the police because they saw a rifle and was worried about it. So the body cam picks up in the hallway where there's at least 2 officers, not sure how many, and a male and female exit the room into the hallway. Officer tells them to get down on the ground. They get down on the ground. At one point, I guess the guy moves his arms from flat out to up under his head or whatever. Cops yell at him, "Get your hands out so we can see him." He complies, puts his hands out, and they tell him, "Hey, listen, no one told you to move your hands. You keep moving them to your body like that, it's viewed as a threatening gesture." Okay? Because, let's put this clear, you reach to your body, cops aren't sure if you're grabbing for a weapon or not.
There's no way to know.
There's no way to know. Okay? People hide weapons all over their bodies. They tell them to cross
I've just got an opinion that I can't. But go ahead, keep going.
They tell them to cross their legs, put their palms down, cross their legs. Tells the woman to keep her palms flat and push up to her knees. Then keep her hands in the air and then crawl to them. So she does, and her hands are in there, and basically she just walks on her knees to them, closer, where they handcuff her and do whatever, and it happens off camera. Then they tell the guy, basically they're telling him to do the same thing. When he pushes up quickly to his knees, and he uncrosses his legs, which they had told him to keep his legs crossed.
He is extremely intoxicated, by the way.
But
great.
Also,
God.
Well, the cop is talking to him, and he asks, "Are both of y'all drunk? Do you understand?" The cop's voice is very calm when he's explaining everything. It's only when the guy who starts doing other things that the cop starts yelling. Shoot.
Well, it's a good thing Scott wasn't here for that.
But like, you know,
They say talking with your hands is a sign of intelligence, but I don't believe it.
except for when you know, throw water all over someone else's phone.
Got a funny story about that in a minute.
I'm
towel, not
I'm
a
a
coaster.
clusterfuck.
Keep going.
Anyway, so
he's kind of acting erratically. They can't
right,
tell if
he,
he's drunk or not.
he is acting somewhat erratic.
He's not.
So
He's not like doing anything too crazy.
he's not
Right.
like tweaking, but he's
They're trying to figure out right now if he's tweaking, if he's
right.
drunk, if
See
he's-
what's going on.
if he's conscious.
So the cop is giving pretty clear directives. Now they
He's saying some weird things, but he's just mixing his words up. He'll say like, "Push yourself to the ground," instead of "Lower yourself."
yeah. Well, in the heat of the moment.
in the heat
Yeah,
of the moment.
right.
Okay. The point is, you get it across. Now, like I said, the guy pushes himself up, and like as he does it, he kind of hops up on his knees. So the cop's like, "Whoa, stop!" You know, and his hands are down. He goes, "Put your hands," or whatever, or he puts his hands behind his back. So like, put your hands up where we can see him, whatever.
They give
So
a lot of chances.
They give him a lot of chances. And it's like, okay, I understand the guy being nervous, you know, but they're telling him, listen, you put your hands anywhere where we can't see, we're gonna shoot you.
I'm very interested in this now.
Mead.
That's what you were trying to say.
Yeah, I was asking if you wanted any mead.
Oh my god!
Let's see what this
I'll have a
smells
sip.
like. Oh my god.
So then
That
they tell
smells
him,
good.
like, listen, keep your hands up. If you lower your hands at all, we're gonna shoot you. And point blank, he goes, we're gonna deem it as a threat, and we're gonna shoot you. And he goes, if you think you're going to fall on your face, you better fall on your face. Don't lower your hands to catch yourself. It's basically, he's making it clear, do not do anything with your hands, but keep them up. Well, then they said, all right, crawl towards me. Well, he drops and puts his hands on the ground and crawls. They let him by with it. Okay, his hands are visible. We can see him. Hey, he's crawling. Well, he's on the right side of the hallway. Well, he starts moving to the left, which is because the officer's on the right side, too. So he's kind of going on.
I'm gonna cut you off for a second
Yeah.
because
This is
this is like a little bit of heaven.
it's the most amazing thing I've ever tasted.
way more important.
Yeah,
than
this
any
is-
sort of
meat
moral
is-
dilemma.
This mead is
The true moral dilemma here is whether we're going to drink this now or later.
This
surprisingly
is
good.
that's high alcohol, isn't it?
Yeah, it
It
actually is.
smells like it.
Oh my god! Tastes like honey.
Oh, I noticed something when I was upstairs. Who'd you get that wooden flag from?
Salty Dog flags.
That's some beautiful work. Like I would recommend them.
Wait for it. Wait, it's you haven't even.
You don't drink J. Smith?
No, I'm good.
You won't take a sip of this?
Yeah,
It's
no,
amazing.
you do.
You Mormon?
You do.
I mean, it's
No,
if
he
you
doesn't.
are, it's okay. I mean,
No,
amazing.
like on the Band of Brothers, you asked if he was a Quaker.
yeah,
No, I'm
Just
not.
let it touch your tongue.
yeah. Just let it.
That's how you tricked me last time. And it was not alcohol.
I think we got another glass down here for Will. If we want
If
to
not,
do it.
there's at least, I think there's a bolt in there.
This is
What
amazing.
is the percentage?
So
Oh, there you
go ahead. Finish your
Alright,
story.
jeez,
Jesus,
this is
you're-
wine.
You're droning on.
I'm giving a lot of detail since not everyone has seen it. So, anyway, he's crawling, and right as he gets at the officers,
Save some of that for Rational.
Many thanks.
he
Most definitely.
reaches back with his right hand towards his hip,
Oh no!
and he gets shot. I would say
He gets shot multiple times.
he gets shot probably, they probably fires
5 to 8.
5, I think. I was going to say, yeah. But listen, if someone broke into this house and had a weapon, how many times would you shoot him?
No, that's not the issue.
Okay.
Here's what I'm
I'm going to say, I'm not going to say anything about him getting shot more than once.
Here is my opinion.
Okay.
You have a guy on the ground, on his knees. Mm-hmm. You have, and I think this is more important in caliber, a stable firing platform and a rifle. You have a semi-automatic rifle aimed right dead center of the guy. I'm going to wait until I see a weapon in that situation. Now, there's some shootings where the guy made a movement and you didn't see the weapon, and I thought they were justified. So I'm not saying that seeing the weapon is always the determining factor in a justified shoot. Actually, I would say the opposite. However, in this scenario, he had him dead to rights.
But what are the odds? What are the statistics that by the time you see a weapon and register it's a weapon, you're already shot?
It's this situation.
But still,
he was like a little bit further apart than me to you. And I got a rifle pointed at me.
Oh, really?
I mean, he wasn't that close.
Maybe double. It'd be like
about 5 to 8 feet.
Yeah, like closer than that
Chest
dresser.
Yeah.
On his knees.
But you're also you're on your knees too as the officer.
Yeah, but it's a firing position.
You're in the kneeling, and granted he's on his hands and knees, but he reaches, and you don't see where his hands is. I mean, that's where you keep a weapon, is on your right side.
This is the only shooting I've ever really seen that I really just struck me as like, this is horrible.
Listen, no shooting looks good.
Yeah, but
no use of force looks good.
I even defended the Walter Scott shooting a little bit. You know,
and I have
there's
some devil's advocate and defense I can say on that too.
You know, he got convicted.
Yeah.
He pled guilty to that.
He got 20 years.
Oh, yeah, 20 years. I thought he pled
25, 20 or 25 years.
I hadn't seen that one.
But it was that federal case where he pled guilty. See, I think he got tricked a little bit, but because he beat it in state court.
Right.
And I think that was the right answer, because every jury member said they could not in good faith convict him.
Right.
He goes to federal court and they skin him. But anyway.
Well, that's because they are on a mission now.
Yeah. They were.
Federal court's on a mission. I think appeals, he might have a chance of overturning it. But also on state, because no one cares about the appeals. If you notice, the initial case is what makes all the news. Appeals gets backpaged.
Yep, you're right.
I knew with the state, they were charging him for first-degree murder. There was no way they were going to convict him.
He pled guilty to... I'm sorry, they found him guilty of second-degree murder. But he pled guilty to some other... Anyway, back to this shooting.
Because this one... Because what I'm going to say,
I love
99
because of his voice. I hope it hurts him.
99% of the times, someone's not going to have a weapon, okay? But it only takes that one time. And if you see a weapon, chances are you're already shot or your partner's already shot. Chances are.
I disagree.
Because hand's quicker than the eye. We as humans are not designed.
5.56 is really fast, though.
It is. But it's your brain. How long does it take? It's a 5.56. It's not any faster than a 38.
The guy's demeanor. So if the guy was pretending to be that drunk, maybe. There's a lot of other factors in this.
There's other factors, but also you're not the one in the hallway. We have the privilege and the luxury of Monday morning quarterbacking.
Yeah.
We got the luxury of instant replay. I was talking to some people on Facebook about it, and they're like, well, before you start shooting, you can see the guy's hands back in view, and it's empty. And I had to rewind it a couple times. Like, okay, yes.
But that's a split second.
But it's a very split second. He had already decided in his mind he's going to engage.
I don't think it's murder. But I think it is a bad shoot.
Well, I mean, it's not murder. And
Walter Scott was a bad shoot. But it was not. It was an understandably bad shoot.
Right.
And that's where this falls.
So, I mean, and my thought is, and I was like, could the officer receive more training? Yes. Could there be more? But what officer doesn't need more training in scenarios like this? I'm just saying you can't have.
We do is train.
But you can't have too much training in situations like this. I'm not going to crucify the officer who made sure he went home that night. The guy was not following directives. It's tragic that he was shot. It's tragic when anyone's shot, besides Hitler.
Which Hitler shot himself.
And
Right?
I don't know, did he?
I thought he shot himself.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he's not dead.
He poisoned.
You don't think Hitler's dead?
He's been in Brazil for years.
Give him the floor.
Argentina.
Colombia, baby.
He was Pablo Escobar.
Let's talk about this meat.
Yeah, I'm about.
If
this
you don't talk
mead.
about the mead's gonna start talking. So
This
right.
mead is
You
the
need you some
greatest
mead.
liquor I've ever put in my mouth. What's the alcohol in this? Hold on.
19,
19% alcohol by volume.
and it tastes like pure honey.
It tastes like honey.
It does.
This could be the
I don't
undoing
even
of
know.
me.
I think we should stop the show right now. I think we should get plastered.
And then come back.
I have my handgun. So I make a bunch of videos of shooting and different things, and I put them online. In the comments, there's always like some gun safety guy, and I'm all about gun safety, but I don't think I should have to show the internet that my weapon's unloaded if I'm demonstrating something. Does that make sense? Like here I am at my house, and I'm going to show you a technique on how to draw a weapon, or something more basic, like. And most guys they'll slide back and they'll say, "It's unloaded." And they'll do their drill. I just don't care that much. Like I don't. Care
I mean, if it's just you on the internet, there's no chance
that's
of you
what I'm
hurting
saying.
someone. But
I kill myself and I don't upload the video. If the video got uploaded, it was a safe weapon.
which is not a better scenario. That's still an awful scenario.
It is, but it's not their fucking business. Does that make sense? Like it's not the internet's business.
I mean, it's not anyone's business to anything, really. But
right. I absolutely love not now that I've learned it makes the internet mad. I love not doing it. Like
you love
You didn't rack your gun.
You love trolling with weapons.
I do. I love trolling. Period. My Facebook says I'm trolling. That's my
Oh,
bio.
boy.
But I don't know. I think trolling is God's work. I mean, that's what the internet's for.
Told you he was gonna fit in fine.
Do you not? Or do you?
What is your life verse then? Where is that found in the Bible that trolling is God's work?
No,
Well,
God
here's
comes
the
and
deal.
speaks to
You're-
you about
you're-
trolling.
You have an entity in front of you that represents whatever you don't like, and you're just poking.
So you could
That's-
say Jesus driving the money changers out of the temple.
Right. That's
You're
a really
doing
bad example.
a modest. You're doing a modest
That's a horrible
version of.
example. Yeah. Like I will defend any position to make people angry on the internet. I love it.
So
Well-
that's not really God's work, then that's devil's advocate.
You got to help people understand that
They're not the center of the universe.
what do you call it? When you don't actually have to look someone in the eye and deal with something in a conversation on the internet, nothing should be taken seriously anyway.
Right. That's the point I'm making.
Because you might talk all the crap in the world,
I love you.
but you get across from someone in real life, you're gonna talk different.
Yeah. Well, it absolutely. Because like online, people will.
Keyboard gangsters.
Do you know what postmodernism is?
No one does.
Okay.
That's what postmodernism
Good.
is.
So it thrives, in my opinion, because of the internet. Because if I lock you in a room and I say, "Listen, there's gravity. Watch," and I drop something.
That's the example I used
And
to.
I say, this is a reality. You cannot dispute it. And they go,
But I don't
"Well,
believe that."
I believe it's a social construct. You eventually, if you're locked in a room, I think you could beat them into submission. Because I can say I'm really going to hit you, and they'll go, "Well, is hitting a social?" Boom. Was it a social construct, or did I just hit you? And you can beat them into reality.
This applies back to roots. Your name is Toby.
Your name, that's horrible. But online, there is no limit to the mental gymnastics. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
So I think postmodernism has flourished.
Everybody is.
So wait a minute. You mean tell me you know about both gymnastics, physical and mental?
Oh God!
Oh wow!
This is
When he was a
not. I don't know.
cheerleader.
You've studied postmodern. You understand?
I wouldn't say I've studied it, but I read.
that you even know what it is makes
yeah.
me like I kind of have a crush on you right now.
You're probably gonna wind up getting fucked later on, so you better be prepared.
I believe that's the mead talking.
I'm using my pop shield to like.
Do you have a little bit of Puerto Rican in you? Because that's what.
Do you agree that has contributed to the fall of society? Is not having to face your.
Oh my
your
God!
audience?
Like the example that I always use is people my age, I mean, we grew. I don't know when the postmodern era started. I mean, maybe 2000, 9/11. That's when a lot
After
of
the
crazy
modern
stuff
era?
started. Well, yeah, whenever they decided that it ended.
The modern era, which is now.
I need some
Hey,
more
you
meat
gotta
for
save
this.
some of this.
You mean the era we're
I'll
still
buy
in?
another bottle.
Actually, now we're in the postmodern. We're already in.
we realized that was just a fever dream, and we're waking up.
I don't think so. I think that the
There's
new
gold in
intellectuals
them
have.
hills.
Do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
No.
All right,
Man crush
our relationship's over. Anyway, but there's a new intellectual movement that is the counter of postmodernism, which is what postmodernism was to modernism.
Right, but that's about as far as I know. I don't know what's going on now. I mean, I know it's a complete deconstruction, and it's more of whatever you believe is true. Your truth is truth.
It's misunderstood though, because the founders of postmodernism did not mean for it to be applied the way it is applied.
Sorry, Harvey.
They simply said,
You gotta get
when you
something to
look at
Susan.
something,
Yeah.
you should look at it and
Nothing
you
from
should
you, though.
deconstruct it.
Yeah, I ain't got enough length to
And you
smooth
should
your
say,
throat,
do
son.
they add up individually? Okay, yes. Do they add up together?
butter already.
Maybe yes or maybe no.
You're gonna need like a
It
pound
was a
of
way
butter.
of thinking, and it's not meant to say there is no absolute truths or reality.
I remember when I was little, I
Right.
was
It says
expecting to
question
open the bag.
But
and
the
re-pull
internet
back, come out,
generation has
start
done that with it.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm not hating on video games or anything of that nature, but like our whole generation growing up getting everything you want and living in a fantasy world 8 hours out of the day every day.
He's about 5 years younger than us.
I believe. Well, we're in the same generation.
I agree. You're right. You're spot on.
But like, whereas the people, our parents, people who came before us, had to actually do things, interact with
Yep.
people, go outside, build what they want, do what they want, and learn how to be humans and interact in this world. We have kind of lived in fantasy worlds. And so it's not surprising at all that
Could not agree more.
we would take something like that and go, well, there must not be any truth. It's like, I don't agree with you, so we're both wrong and there's no middle ground.
Especially if you don't have, not to get on this, but at least one avenue to have a mindset of absolute truth is religion. So if you take that away, that you're not religious, and for instance, well, I won't go into that, but if you take away religion and you have never had to live in a reality, as you're calling it, you're really lost. You're like, you have no...
You don't have any framework for anything.
You have no center. You're just floating around like, well, you're fat shaming and fucking, or whatever you're going to say. It's just,
Right.
So you finally figured out what millennials actually are.
No, I know. I have to deal with them.
I mean, that's all they do is float the fuck around. Like,
true.
they're
And that's
just
before
all-
the drugs.
Yeah. After the drugs, you can't understand them. Like,
They
you
can't understand them.
No. Like, it's spooky. Like, when's the last time you've been to a concert? Especially been to a concert with millennials.
I've only been to concerts with millennials.
Like, it's fucking weird. It is nothing like it was when I was growing
You're the
up.
weirdest person I've ever met.
That's saying something, too, because we've known each other like 30 years, it seems
Dude,
like.
where'd you meet this fucking guy?
He lives across the street.
Oh my god!
It was like some natural attraction to him, and I started talking to him, and I was like,
Action.
Tell us
It
about
was.
this.
Well,
I was like, holy shit, he's just as fucked as me. I'm like, this don't make no sense.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I'm really big into. I think the greatest enemy in our society
It's gorillas.
If you're not going to say evil, like pure evil,
Like the gorillas?
Well,
like that Clint Eastwood
yeah.
bit?
Yeah.
If you're not going to say like evil, like if you're not going to go religious and say the devil, evil, if you had to pick an evil in society,
It's the
I
internet.
would still say that it is Marxism. I would still say communism, because communism is the same thing as postmodernism. And here's how. Communism used class. And they said, we're going to divide you by how much you have. Postmodernism said, we're going to divide you as many ways as we need to. LBGTQ, and it just keeps growing, because they can divide you as a person, and they can find a way that you're a victim.
Got you.
Well, you are white. You got Native American blood. Oh, okay, well you're a victim of that. So if you cut a person up, postmodernism allows this, right? Because there's no standards.
Right.
You can find a way a person is a victim, and you can tell them, "I'm here to help you. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help."
Yeah, I can get behind that.
But
It'll take some
the last
thinking,
movie
but yeah,
I
I
saw
definitely
was
see where
that
you're coming from.
New movie.
some of the founders
Yeah.
of postmodernism
I'll
said
talk about this
that
in a minute, but
it is
the
Marxism
last Marvel
reworked.
movie
I mean,
I
it's
seen
actually
was Ant-Man.
stated by some
Nice.
postmodernists.
So
That's not surprising.
But if you really look at
Just another way Freemasonry rules the world.
Marxism was like I said, the class and kind
Ant-Man
of
has been the best Marvel movie to me.
more of a. Don't get me
Yeah, I
wrong,
saw
Marxism
that.
also
I
had
seen
some
where it
racial
was
elements
coming
to it,
from.
but now it's just totally replaced that with.
Paul Rudd.
Well, you know, you're.
But is it
you're,
written by Kevin
there's an
Smith?
oppressor, and there's an oppressed,
I'm
and
like,
we
why don't
can
they
make
let him
you
write
fit
more?
into a category, and everything subjectively changes. So, one minute the oppressor can be.
Yeah.
You know, the government.
Whoever
thinks
the
it's a
agenda,
white
whoever the
man.
No, I
agenda
think
pusher
the first one,
defines
yeah.
them as.
Exactly.
I like the first one.
That's why postmodernism is more dangerous than Marxism.
Okay, well, yeah, because Marxism's just
I'm not gonna lie. It's hard
one
for me to sit down and
specific
focus on movies anymore.
branch.
Well, it's
or-
still
Right,
built on
where I like to
hierarchies.
read
Everything's a
or
hierarchy.
Right, but
I've been reading
within
novels.
economics or within politics,
But
not
see, that's
everything.
In reality, that's
The
not
old
true.
Scott
though.
would have
Not
been
everything's
like,
a hierarchy.
yeah,
People
let's do
cooperate.
this, you know. But now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like
They want to make a hierarchy.
They're having a total.
Oh no, you're fine.
You know,
Conversation.
they want to stand at the top of the pyramid and control everybody else on the bottom.
All right, let's go completely off topic.
Okay, go.
All right, so everybody here, everybody,
Decepticons.
yeah,
Decepticons
from the ninth dimension.
Autobots.
But everybody here has some form of superhero form. They read comic books, they watch the movies or whatever.
I only like the best one ever, Spider-Man.
Okay, then this applies to you.
He's a little
you guys.
bitch.
Which
We'll agree with me upon this.
which Spider-Man?
That new
Oh,
Spider-Man.
don't you play butt games with me, okay? First of all,
I just learned a new thing.
if you're making me pick, I'm going to say it's Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, who is the real
Oh,
Spider-Man.
okay, that's
who
a-
is the real Spider-Man?
That's not what I meant. I was talking
Peter
about the
Parker
movies.
is the.
Sorry.
come on.
Which movie? Which movie?
All the movies suck.
You went.
No, that new one was good.
Have you seen
I
Homecoming
like
yet?
Scarlet Spider's uniform though.
Hey, he's the
That's
real
cool.
Spider-Man.
He is.
When the clone,
I
all
know,
that happened,
with the
the
jackal.
real Spider-Man
I
was
know.
killed. Or sorry, the clone was killed, and Spider-Man became Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
He didn't. I mean,
He was manipulated.
Back to my
Peter
Spider
Parker.
killed people too.
And Peter Parker is the clone. I know.
But back to my point.
Folks will be
Out of
fine.
all these Spider-Man stories, you know, my thing is if you're gonna make a movie series off of Spider-Man, won't you throw it for the left and do Spider-Man and Black Cat, which was wrote
Yeah.
by Kevin Smith. And if you've never read that series, it is an amazing series, hands down.
It would be good.
But they're trying to pair Spider-Man off with Tony Stark and all this shit again, and it's like, pair him off with Black Cat, the way it's supposed to be done.
They were going to bring Black Cat into the Amazing Spider-Man 3, but that never happened.
That's because Amazing Spider-Man 2 happened first.
I'm aware they did Spider-Man 3 again. They just got to it a movie earlier.
I don't like the movies. I just don't. I don't get into any of it. None of them captured a few things. A, they miss him as Peter Parker.
Did you
Quite
see
consistent.
Homecoming?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as him as a kid.
To me, the Spider-Man, we can't get past this fucking origin story. Like, he grew up. The Spider-Man I fell in love with was a grown guy who lived a life and was married, and you know, that's Spider-Man to me. And it's always just, we go back to he's a teenager. Well, he got older at some point. It's not like he's like, you know...
Stuck
Well,
in
the
time
Tobey
like Peter
Maguire
Pan.
movies, he was
Exactly.
older. I mean, he didn't get his powers till like the end of high school, basically.
I'm
in
just
Tobey
I'm
Maguire.
done with this whole. The movie focuses on the bad, a bad time for Spider-Man. It's like the boring like origin era.
Has anyone watched the Punisher series?
Yep.
Is it any good?
Define good.
Does it stick to true Punisher?
I'll give you this, and everyone on the internet's going to hate me for it, but it's not really
No one
my
watches
fault.
this.
Well, everyone on the internet is just one person on the internet. There's just a lot of them. A lot of one persons.
It's very deep. Very postmodern of you.
I think you just blew McConnell's mind. Like I could see it in his face. He's like, "Whoa!"
I
wish
never
something else
actually
was
heard.
Water.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
What I'm saying, go get me one, please.
That's all you do at off topic, Jay, is go and get drunk.
Listen, we have this under control.
Go on, water boy.
I knew that was coming.
You too stupid to get some water.
My mama's
Dude, that is a badass jersey, though.
I like it. I like it a lot.
We could all wear it, but at the same time.
Well, at least me and you. He's gonna whoop your ass, and you a little feller. I hope you realize that.
Dude,
I mean, you think wrestling with me's rough?
I know.
Jesus.
So, what were we talking about superheroes?
We were
Aquaman
talking.
sucks. He does.
Aquaman sucks the biggest fucking
Totally
dick, dude.
sucks.
Have you seen Justice League?
No, why would you go and see that turd?
He's a college dropout.
Of course he
Like
is.
he didn't go to college, but he gives like.
Is he from California as well?
No, he's from Atlantis. Which let's go there later. But
Which it might as well be Atlanta.
all he does is complain about everything. I don't want this. I don't want this responsibility. I don't want this job. Blah, blah, blah. I hate everyone.
The fish are like, they need me. Are you not? Do you not like your meat?
Oh, I just forgot about it.
Don't bring these people that are
We were talking about the Punisher.
ungrateful.
You tell me to bring someone, and then you're going to complain about me bringing someone.
I have never I did not hear the phrase comic book until college.
Really?
Really. And I probably would have read them when I was younger, but I just didn't even know they were a thing. I thought Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, all that was cartoons for Saturday morning. I thought that's where they came from.
That's a glorious age to live in, where you have the privilege of just seeing them every Saturday morning.
Check your privilege is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
check.
I had to get
I
my
ain't got any.
ass down to the comic shop
I love
every
this
week.
voice. I love it. I
get new ones.
You have to do this voice every show from now on. It's just.
Well, how about I was talking about doing bass,
Do it.
and maybe it'll be a little better.
I'm waiting. Go.
Will you try to throw that Dr. Love on
Oh
him?
yeah, coming at you
The ladies' man.
with answers to all your romantic queries.
But yeah, my least favorite is Superman.
Why?
Because he's everything.
Because it's like,
He's a cop
if
out.
there is no way to
Superman's
be
amazing.
defeated, then I don't care.
Not true. Batman can defeat him.
With
No.
kryptonite.
Batman can
I don't
kill.
buy that bullshit.
Batman
Like,
can kill anybody if he wants to. He is the world's greatest detective. He already knows how to kill you before you even get to Gotham.
Unless he's played by Ben Affleck.
like, I don't.
And then just
Or
saying
Christian Bale. Or
then just saying
Val
it-
Kilmer.
saying-
Or George Clooney.
the only
or
good
Michael Keaton.
That was the only good Batman was Michael Keaton.
No, he is,
Keaton
but he
was
wasn't a great
amazing.
detective.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Well, they've never really
Exactly.
They
gone
never
in.
did it.
Which
Yeah.
is the other half of the character.
Exactly.
Which is
I mean-
really the best part of the character.
It is really the best part of the
It-
You
character.
know
is
what one of
how-
my favorite things to do is
Because anyone can do anything, but if you can't figure out how to do it, what good are you?
Or who you
is-
need to do it to.
ask somebody who's a comic book fan what DC stands for.
I'm breaking my chip roll.
Detective Comics.
But you'd be surprised how many people
I didn't know
don't-
that till like last year or the year before.
Like most people don't know. That's what that is Detective Comics.
What? Most of them aren't detectives.
But that's what it was based off of because
Batman,
of
being
Batman
a detective.
being a
Before
detective.
Batman was the huge brand that he was.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Batman first appeared. His main comic was Detective Comics. What was it? Detective Comics 37, something like that. He appeared in, and then I guess that was the flagship. Because they were what, Timely Comics before.
I don't
There
know.
was something I can't remember because Marvel
I know who
Marvel
would,
might have been Timely.
I know
can't
who would
remember.
know all the
Mar-
history on that, and if he happens to come across
So
it, Mike
basically,
Lusk,
'cause
you're
they were
always
all-
welcome here.
Detective Comics or Noir or Monster Comics
Was
or
it the Phantom?
Archie.
Was it the Phantom that came before him that Batman was kind of like a knockoff of?
Affleck and Phantom's
The
brother.
Phantom was I know he was a radio program. I don't know if they did.
Because whoever it
If they did a
was,
comic on him.
the Phantom or the other guy, whoever it was
Let
that
me
he
break
was.
this down for you guys right now.
The Phantom was an inspiration.
Spinks, gas station,
Yep.
equal DC, QT equal Marvel. Okay. You guys are in the ghetto right now, trying to buy.
So a Sitco like Vertigo?
You're trying to buy Jet Link's original jerky at Spinks, and it's not there. It's at QT. Okay.
Well, this is a thing that's always, and I think it's funny, but
I prefer
especially
DC over Marvel.
especially with the
Better villain. Better villain.
You like Spinks.
Yeah, I like the Spinks because there's better
Are you
villains.
talking about comics or movies or all together?
Or as a gas station. Like-
Movies, unfortunately, I have to say Marvel. But animated movies, comics, DC. It's better written.
DC has better animated.
Well,
proud of.
once again, DC is firing everyone in the movies and restructuring the whole thing.
Because DC rushed it.
Like
They
always.
had to catch up with Marvel. Because it's funny how
It's funny he's got an excuse right now.
it is. If you look at Marvel Comics, they have been more grounded and darker than DC. Marvel is grounded in the real world. You know, they're based in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, whatever. DC is Metropolis, Gotham, Coast City.
DC has tried, though. I'm a detail nerd, or I can be. In Suicide Squad, one of the papers, I believe it's Deadshot's paper, that what's her name's got the file on him, says that Gotham is actually in New Jersey. So it's Gotham, New Jersey,
That just sounds
and
god-awful.
Metropolis, New York.
Where?
Metropolis, New York, Gotham, New Jersey.
So they're trying to do that. But it's still...
They're trying. That's
it's made
catch up.
up.
That's catch up.
And-
That's all it is.
And if you look at story tone, Marvel has always been a little darker. And DC's been a little brighter. Even with Batman.
I don't. Okay,
Well, and
so
maybe until recently.
I didn't know about
I haven't
Marvel-
collected in about 15 years. Honestly.
And I don't have really any history with the comics, so I can't really say anything. So all I can
I
speak from is
disagree
the
because
movies.
you know why they didn't make a third Batman with Michael Keaton?
Because Michael Keaton bailed out.
You know why he bailed out?
Because Jim Carrey was getting the higher billing.
It wasn't because of Jim Carrey. It was because of Tim Burton.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Warner Brothers didn't want Tim Burton to do a third one because the second one was too dark.
Yeah.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Because the comics. I'm talking
Yeah.
about comics. Now,
No, you're right. Deadpool was way better. You know,
Deadpool- Deadpool's better.
You're right. But you know what would be better
But-
than Deadpool? The Red Hood.
Red Hood would be
Ooh,
awesome.
I am so excited because there is a dead Robin in Batman v Superman, as you all remember, that they don't talk about in Justice League, and I'm hoping the new Batman movie is going to involve that.
Well, the thought is that Jared Leto Batman is Jason.
Let
Todd.
me.
Okay, they
point
should
this
fire
out
everyone
right
and
here.
start over.
That's
I mean,
that's the thought is
Jared-
that because Jared Leto he's
Was
so
the
much
worst-
younger.
Worst Joker ever, hands down.
that is mad.
Like seriously, that was like
Caesar Romero from Adam West Batman was a much better Joker.
Did you hear that he was like he
Jared
was
Leto.
like a method actor, and during the
And
filming
he
of
was-
that movie,
yeah.
he was an asshole. Will Smith hates him.
Yeah, he was sending like really bad gifts to people, like really
He
messing with
pissed
them.
in something, like pissed in someone's food or something. Like he did crazy shit.
He did,
Yeah.
he did.
everyone
Which
at
he's
this
a-
table will
I-
also agree that
I
Heath
followed all
Ledger
that.
best Joker.
Yeah,
I
he was
still
good,
like-
but
I still
Jack
like Jack
Nicholson.
No, Jack Nicholson was too campy.
Mark Hamill?
Now, see, that's animated.
but
That's
still-
a completely different world.
But honestly, if you had to say the best version of Batman,
Look,
you're gonna have to go with Kevin Conroy.
oh my
You're
God.
100% correct.
Look,
You're 100%
I mean, I love
correct.
Michael Keaton Batman,
But Kevin Conroy
but Kevin Conroy is Batman.
is Batman.
have any of you watched the Flash TV show?
Yes,
Okay,
I haven't seen the last
Mark
season.
Hamill
No.
as the trickster is better than Jared Leto as the Joker.
Oh yeah,
I believe
As the
that.
Joker, and he's not even the Joker; he's
yeah,
the trickster.
He's the trickster. Oh yeah, I mean Mark Hamill. Well, I'm just gonna say this:
We're gonna have to change. I hate
Mark Hamill is
comic
amazing.
books.
Mark,
Wow,
because
we're
you're
already
wrong,
doing better than Kevin Smith's podcast on it.
Oh no!
and we even got bearded guys and a fat guy in a hockey jersey.
See?
So
We're beyond halfway there.
we coming at you, Kevin Smith.
Oh God! I don't want to be his enemy.
No, I just want to get mentioned. I think it'd be cool.
What's funny?
Do whatever it takes to get him to
And-
talk
and
about you.
That guy right there.
What the hell are
So
you doing?
let me tell you guys a story. You've met my mother, correct? Have you met my mother?
Oh, your mother, wonderful lady.
So I was looking through some old pictures in the house.
Is that the go-go dancer pictures?
Yeah. Well, did you know? Okay, another thing I learned. You already knew about the go-go dancer. My mom was a go-go dancer. I didn't know about it until
Interesting.
very recently.
My mom was not, unless I didn't know about that.
Yeah, she danced in the bird cages that hung from the ceiling. Anyway, apparently she didn't take her clothes off. That was an important detail for me. Do you know what a soda jerk is?
Yes.
I didn't know what that was.
Nope.
My mom was a soda jerk.
Yeah, worked behind the counter at the soda shop, at the malt shop.
My mom
They
worked
called them soda jerks.
Walgreens. She was a soda jerk at Walgreens. So
That's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of like drugstores had the soda shops in them.
Oh, you can still actually go to one like that around here. Believe it or not,
Slater,
there's-
Marietta.
That's right, up there in
Oh, really?
Marietta.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it is
It's
pretty
the
cool. 'cause
Slater,
you-
Marietta drugstore.
That's right. You go up there and you tell them what they want, and they hand mix you drink, or they hand mix your milkshakes, which are
And they can throw some
fucking
pills in it.
amazing.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they probably will throw some pills in there, or at least some meth.
Hey, you got some more of them hand spun milk?
I need one of them Viagra milkshakes.
Oh, Lord.
yeah. Well,
Number 25.
Is that Ben Shapiro as a basketball player?
no.
Wow. Wow.
So,
You better drink some more of that mead. I'm about down caught up on you and past you.
dude, this meat is amazing.
Ain't it, though?
I'm mad that I went my whole life without trying meat.
It's always nice to find somebody that still makes it, like at home, like a good honey mead.
I know a guy,
Oh,
You
yeah.
know a guy that makes meat?
and that's all I can say.
Well, that's fine. Yeah.
Well, off
no.
the record, we'll get back with you.
This is
I know a
off
guy,
topic.
too.
No, I haven't tried it yet, but he does make his own meat at home.
That's
And,
what's up.
keep trying to tell him to.
Is that like a dirty, like, does he actually mean meat, or does he just, like, look at you weird and say, come help me make some meat?
Got some
No
money to
comment.
coat that throat.
Have you helped him make the mead?
No
Okay, good.
comment.
You might want to take some backup with you. Or
Yeah.
you'll be like hashtag me too.
Hashtag mead.
Pamela
too.
Anderson will go with you. She'll tell you if it's a bad idea.
Use some common sense.
Man.
All right, so I got a question for all you people still on social media. Is that still a thing, or has everyone forgotten about it because it was the flavor of the week?
It's amazingly still a thing.
Yeah.
Now, I say this I'm still kind of an outsider. Now, I literally just use it to hurt people's feelings.
As God's troll.
It's not because they're,
You
it's
are
not because I
hilarious.
think down
sir.
on them. It's because
Luke
they're
is the one that he shows up and goes, I'm not a part of it, but give me some cake. He likes to think of
because
himself
they're
as an
horrible
outsider, but he's really part of the party. He just doesn't want to admit to it.
Get
He's
this.
going to dress in all black and stand in the corner and tap his foot to the music, but he's like, I'm an outsider. I'm going to do this.
I have an app that I've downloaded on my phone called 2UP, number 2, UP. And it is a video debate. That's all it is. It's you make statements, people challenge you on your statements.
Oh wow!
And you video debate them. And I have had more fun on that than I have Facebook, Instagram, anything. That's what I do. I argue with people day in and day out.
I might have to get onto that. That sounds
It's
fun.
really good.
I'm going to have to wait till I get a voice back. Because I really couldn't make a video arguing right now.
It's
I hope your
really
voice
good.
don't come back.
I know.
I do too.
Sound better this
That's
way.
just because you think it sounds sexy.
It does sound
And you want me
sexy.
in your ear going, oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Come give daddy some loving.
Yeah, it's my favorite app right now.
It sounds like me. Old Jay Smith wants to suck a dick sitting over here.
Well then,
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
That escalated quickly.
and
Very-
silence befell the room.
I think he's,
It's only
What-
gay
what
if you
is-
look me in the eyes, son.
And the
So-
mead is now talking.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? You judging people?
Yeah, he's judging
no,
me
he's
now.
assuming.
There's no moral absolute,
He's
so everything
placing-
is an assumption.
Check your
He's-
privilege, bruh.
He's placing assumptions
There
upon
is no
me.
privilege. There's no nothing.
Oh,
guys.
so I have a story. I
There
have a
is
story about
today.
this. So I was
Oh, have you decided that?
Oh, I have. Because I am the king.
while I was working in my official capacity one day.
Which was sitting in a parking lot.
No, I wasn't. I was talking. There was basically a young lady had been stolen from, and her girlfriend was there as well. And while I was trying to talk to the lady that had actually been victimized, like stolen from, her girlfriend would not get out of my face, and I don't really know what I did to even deserve that. They were mad at me, you know. Well, she was mad at me.
Because you represent the man.
Right, so she kept trying to interrupt me while I'm talking to the actual victim of the crime.
She probably just wanted her tax money back.
She said, she said,
funny.
she kept
That's
saying, sir, like with her hand on her hip, sir, and she's I can't talk to the victim. So I looked at her and I said, did you just assume my gender?
Ooh.
I shut her up faster. I've never seen a human being shut up that fast. I mean, it was a complete 180 in attitude. She just sat back down. She stopped talking. And I continued my interview. Amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Just remember that. Remember that gym next time you're...
Gotcha.
So what do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I want to see a good Justice League film.
Jay Smith, goddamn bagpipes
What are you
of Star
doing,
Wars
Smith?
over here.
I want
Throw your phone on the ground and step on it.
this guy who's going to create the next Batman trilogy, the guy who did War of the Planet of the Apes and all that. He's the guy who's got Batman now. I want him to keep his word when he says
I
that
hate
David
Portland
Fincher
so
films like
much.
Seven and the Zodiac are the inspiration for the new Batman films.
I'm not a big Star Wars
Yeah,
fan.
because that would be a great detective story.
I'm really not.
Name your... and I
I'm more
understand
of a-
Which one?
you always forget
I'm more
about
of a
like
Star
your
Trek
favorites
fan.
and like stuff, but
Well, yeah, especially when the camera's on.
I'm
go
a
through your
Trekkie.
favorite 3 movies.
Love
Just-
Deep
just-
Space Nine and TNG.
All right, are we talking
Love
about
it.
sentiment? Are we talking about quality? What do we...
Prime Directive, motherfucker.
Just like...
Can we do like a mixture?
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. This is for you too.
Hold on. He just told me he's not a big Star Wars fan.
Hold on. What?
He's more of a Star Trek
He's
fan.
a huge Star Wars fan.
No,
Hold
I'm
on.
not.
Stop. He's going to name his top 3 movies, and you guys
Okay.
can talk.
All right.
As far as it being cinema, you qualify your own list. You
All
can
right.
say this is my
All
cinema.
right, sentiment, the easiest one, just the first thing that comes to anybody's mind. The Sandlot.
Okay.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Okay.
Do I need to say anything
No,
else?
that's fine.
No, you killed me, Smalls. All day, every day.
All right, that's 1.
Number 2, The Dark Knight.
How can you not like The Dark Knight?
You could be stupid, I guess.
You could be a communist.
Well, I mean, there are some communists with good taste. They're just, a lot misguided. And number 3, favorite film. Jeez, this would be... David Fincher's The Game.
Okay.
Is that the one with Michael Douglas?
Yep.
That was...
Yep.
And now they're doing kind of a movie that reminds me of that. It seems like I don't know if it's a remake or whatever. I think it's called Game Night.
Haven't
And it's
heard
going
of
to
it.
be more of a comedy,
Oh, I hope not.
but it's because it has that group that's more of a comedy. And I just saw the trailer recently where that guy's like, okay, it's going to be someone's going to get kidnapped and we're going to have to find them and whatever.
Oh, yeah, that does look interesting.
And then they bust in and take him, and
yeah.
it looks like
And
it's
they can't
legit.
tell whether it's a game or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, the game was.
The game was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Was great.
Top 3, you can qualify them as whatever.
I can't. I can't just name 3.
Star Wars 4, 5, and 6.
No. I mean, Star Wars is great,
1, 2, and 3. Then
but I would. These are gonna fuck you up. How about that?
Jar Jar's return.
Yeah, no. Because if I had to put above Star Wars, I'd have to put Winter Soldier, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yep.
I would go with the original Superman with Christopher Reeve, just because it's classic, phenomenal.
Yep. It's why Chris Nolan did his movies.
Yeah. And I mean, just for watchability and just fun, I'm gonna have to go probably like Smokey and the Bandit.
That's a great movie.
God.
That's a great movie.
I mean, it's just iconic. You know?
I also want to throw in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's why I can't just name one. I mean, because another one that is just, and y'all would make fun of it, I know, but Harvey with Jimmy Stewart, and nobody know. I mean,
I don't
very
know that
few
one.
people know it. It's black and white. It's about him. His best friend is an invisible 7-foot rabbit named Harvey, and everyone thinks he's crazy. But it's one of those you got to see it. It's a phenomenal movie.
Okay, Scott. It's hard. It's hard. And I say this. I understand that it's really almost impossible to do like on the spot.
Right.
But like,
John Wick.
oh, that's great.
Those were great.
Yeah, the first John Wick. Now, my obscure movie though is Payback with Mel Gibson.
Oh my God, that's a great movie.
Remind me what's in that, because I know I've seen it, but I can't.
He gets mad. How much money
He's
is
a
it?
gangster.
30-something?
Yeah,
It's like someone steals 30 grand from him. He kills like 40 people. Like at some point, someone offers him like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he says, "No,
I want my
like 30
money."
grand.
It's what I'm owed. Yeah, it's good. I mean, Mel Gibson's a great actor.
and my last one's Friday. I love the movie Friday. I do.
It's great.
It's iconic.
That's one you just sit
That's
down.
that's a very
and
Scott
watch.
answer.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just
It's very Scott.
it's just one of those movies. Like for me, I can flip through channels, and if it's on, I'm going to wind up watching 15 minutes of it.
If
Like-
not all of it.
Yeah, but I've seen it so much. Like me and my cousin, we can literally sit there and go through the whole movie. But at the time, that was what I enjoyed, and I still do. I love that movie so much.
Now it's your turn, buddy.
It's your turn.
My number one would probably be, I've said this for years, Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman. If you've never seen it.
Hooah!
Yes. Great.
Chris O'Donnell.
Robin.
Yeah,
Have
Robin.
you seen it? Have you
No.
seen it? Amazing.
Scent of a Woman's great. I need to rewatch it.
As far as one-liners go, oh my God, there's so many in that movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. He's like a retired military colonel, I think.
Yeah,
and
Army colonel.
He's
He's
blind,
blind.
and some high school kid has to watch over him for the summer.
It's his,
It's amazing.
it's his aid or whatever.
It is Al Pacino's best movie ever, hands down. I don't care what anyone says. That's his best.
Have you seen Insomnia? Okay.
Oh
okay.
wait, no. Wait, hold on.
With him in Alaska?
No, I'm mixing up another one. No, I have not seen Insomnia.
I mean, I doubt it would be his best movie ever, but I just thinking of it, and you should watch it.
It's amazing. Like I compare it to like Devil's Advocate. That.
So I remember waking up some Saturday, or going to sleep some Saturday night. Parents were in bed. I went in to watch TV, and the Devil's Advocate's on, and the scene it's on. I hope this is the right movie. Charlize Theron is looking for her kid. She walks in the room, and the kid's got a knife and those ovaries and blood everywhere. And I don't know that I slept that night. I was probably like 6 or 7.
Yeah. It's rough.
That's always
that's
what
a
I go
creepy
to.
movie. It's been a while since I've seen it.
But definitely number one, Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino.
What's your other two?
I know this is going to be like really. I've always had a very high opinion of Sin City, the original.
Sin City,
It's basically three movies in one. I love the writing.
And they tie it all together too.
Yeah.
It's different movies.
Yeah, it is.
But they tie
and
them
they all have a very good kind of lesson to them, so to speak. But third place, it's like I love Training Day. I'm trying to think. I love Man on Fire.
Oh, yes.
But I would say probably number 3 would be Striptease.
I'm surprised he didn't say Showgirls.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Flashdance?
No,
Flashdance?
let's just
No,
be
Showgirls. My bad. I meant
because
that.
Demi Moore is a lot hotter than
Jesse Spano.
Elizabeth Berkley.
Yeah, it's Showgirls. I'm sorry.
at least it's
But not,
right.
probably either Training Day or Man on Fire would be my third.
That's what
Hey, y'all
started
really
it all
got
for
shit on
me.
me.
But man, you hate Denzel, but I love.
It's not that I hate Denzel. It's just he's always plays the same role to me,
But
man.
sometimes it's
like,
right. Sometimes it's the right role.
Sometimes it is, but it's like Samuel L. Jackson.
Cute.
I don't know, but as far as like Denzel, you ever seen Fallen?
I've
Where
seen.
it's that
I've seen.
demon is possessing and he whistles the same tune. That one's. You need to see that. That's a great Denzel movie.
The only good Denzel movie, in my opinion, is Book of Eli.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That's good.
That's the only good
What
one.
about The Equalizer? That was good.
I didn't see The Equalizer.
Where
Dude,
he's the old retired hitman.
He murders people with a nail gun.
Yeah, I mean,
in
it's-
slow motion.
I have seen that one.
and
He's
Home
working
Depot.
at the Home Depot,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Dude,
it is.
it's
Yeah.
a great movie.
Are you kidding me?
What's your favorite military movie?
Sniper with Tom Berenger.
Libertarianism, a true story.
That's a great one. I don't know, because I like Rules of Engagement.
What is
Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel L. Jackson, but
What's the one with
Under Siege.
Under Siege.
You can't handle the truth?
Mine is Enemy
Okay.
at the Gates.
A Few Good Men.
No, A Few Good Men.
Behind enemy lines.
Enemy at the Gates is my favorite.
I love Behind Enemy Lines, and Enemy at the Gates is motherfucking
Iron
amazing.
Eagle.
Oh! Chappie.
Chappie with Louis Gossett Jr.
He don't know
Chappie
nothing about. He don't know
is
nothing
Iron
about
Eagles.
Chappie.
Dude, yes. he
Full
does.
Metal
He don't
Jacket.
know nothing about no Chappie.
Full Metal Jacket's good.
Apocalypse
I only the first
Now.
half, though. Only the first half.
I've never
yeah.
seen it.
Once they get in country, the only thing that saves it in country is Adam Baldwin as Animal Mother.
Animal Mother, yeah. He's good. I like the
love
very
Adam
last
Baldwin.
scene in the movie where they're singing M-I-C-K.
Now,
M-I-U-S-E, Mickey Mouse.
Guilty pleasure
Okay,
movie.
best favorite gangster movie.
Oh, Gangster number 1.
Gangster number 1. Okay,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
You gotta give me a second, because I really haven't seen a lot of the gangster movies.
What about you?
No, the Goodfellas
I'm in the same boat.
Look,
I've never,
the
like
Goodfellas
Goodfellas or Godfather.
I know I'm gonna get reamed for this, but I've never seen any of the Godfather movies.
What
There's
about
nothing wrong
Goodfellas?
with that.
I don't think I've seen
Goodfellas is worth seeing more than. I think the Goodfellas is better than the Godfather.
Yeah.
Well,
wanna-
that's because
Good-
Goodfellas is based on a true story.
I wanna see
Goodfellas
them all.
is one of those that you need to watch along with Miller's Crossing.
But-
If you've never seen Miller's Crossing, watch Miller's Crossing. That's the Coen Brothers' first movie.
The Coen brothers?
Yeah,
I'm into
that's
that.
that's their first movie, and there's this great scene where I can't remember his name in the movie, but he was in The Big Lebowski. He played Jesus. Nobody fuck with the Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Like there's this part in The Crossroad where he is literally begging for his life from Alec Baldwin, I think, the less popular Baldwin brother,
That's a
Billy Baldwin.
Stephen.
Stephen Baldwin. Yeah, like he is literally.
Biodome.
Pauly Shore.
I
never saw
secretly,
it.
The
I
balancing
secretly
of the
love.
homos.
I secretly
you know
love
what
that
flag
movie.
is?
Scott, I'm listening to you. What flag you
The
pointing
big flag.
The green one in the corner.
He don't know.
It looks like it says Keck. Like praise Keck?
Do you know what the Kekistani movement is?
No, but I know that Keck was an Egyptian god that all the 4chaners are all about.
Yes. That's the 4chan symbol.
Oh, well, hello then.
They're basically shit posters or trollers.
Yep, it's you. It's
Internet trollers.
chaos magic.
Yes. Yes.
Chaos magic. I like it.
The Kek.
The Keck
Gangster movies, man.
gangster movie.
Dude,
man.
Gangster number 1 is only my favorite because of that one scene. Green Light.
I saw Gangster Squad, but it wasn't
Great.
great.
Oh, well, that kind of movie,
Now see,
would y'all consider Boondock Saints?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with
I haven't
Boondock
seen
Saints.
Reservoir Dogs.
It's
but I have
good,
to.
But I don't think
Every-
it's great.
Kill yourself.
every frat boy in
No,
America has ruined Boondock Saints for me.
Yeah, it is like an overdone.
Yeah.
It is. It's
But
just
it is a great movie.
it is a great movie.
Would Pulp Fiction be considered a gangster movie?
No.
I think so.
I don't think so
But they are gay.
because it's a multiple story movie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Gangsters.
It's about
Gangster.
organized crime.
Well, we could CIA movies then. You know, because I mean they're the ultimate.
The Hunted
gangsters,
is a
but-
really good movie.
Oh, The Hunted's great.
Benicio and Tommy Lee.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
That is a great movie. Also, was it Enemy of the State? Tommy Lee Jones and Wesley Snipes.
I don't know.
No, that was
I don't like
U.S.
Wesley
Marshals.
U.S. Marshals. That's what it was.
Oh,
Enemy of the
yes.
State was Will Smith and Gene Hackman.
Yes, that's who it was.
That was good too.
Was it good?
One of the few Will Smith movies that I like.
That was like phenomenal.
I Am Legend, man. Best Will Smith movie ever.
Hands down, best Will
He
Smith movie.
sells it.
Hancock.
No, I will smack you with my hand.
I ain't got no German in me.
Bullshit.
None
Well,
at all.
You said Dutch, right?
French of all things.
Oh, well, you give up too easy.
Good for nothing.
You're a quitter.
But I fund America to make them free.
Oh.
Whew.
Touche.
Last good thing they ever did.
What state would you live in if you didn't live here?
Denial.
That is
Probably
great.
Montana.
I'd be like Alaska, man.
Well,
Say
that one-
Canada? That's not a state.
Montana.
Oh, okay. Where's that?
Where's
Is
that?
Montana with his bullshit state?
Fucking
It's
close
near
that.
Canada.
It's near Canada, I'm sure.
below Washington.
I think there's bullshit states. If you don't live in
Like North Dakota.
South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, New York, California, Texas, Alaska, Hawaii, you live in a bullshit state.
What does that mean?
I mean, it's like an insignificant state to me. South Carolina is obviously significant.
Why is Missouri a state?
What's that?
Exactly.
What is that?
What's Missouri? Minnesota.
Missouri is Kansas light.
There's a lot of lakes. And
Minnesota, yeah. Like 10,000.
apparently.
Well, you like cheese, so you gotta like.
Have you ever seen The Onion? The Onion has that encyclopedia. They have like 3 or 4 states that fall into the bullshit state category. I've always loved it. For me, it's a lot more though. There's like a lot of bullshit states.
Like Arkansas.
Yeah, like Arkansas. Fucking who gives a fuck?
Arkansas? Come on. Couldn't you have been a little more
We
original
are
than that?
Kansas over here.
Woo, we're the Razorbacks. Look at us.
So you don't recognize Nevada? You don't recognize Vegas
no.
land?
Fuck Vegas.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Same.
I mean, I'm very anti a lot of things, like sports.
I'm anti-sports.
I'm
Don't start.
anti-team sports
Don't
especially.
start on the NFL again, please. You've been doing this a lot.
You're right. You're right. What else?
At least
Well,
go
hold on.
baseball.
He's anti-sports, but what's over in the corner? But a stupid chicken.
My fan. Here's the deal. I could give a shit less about any kind of. I don't care. Who plays.
Speaking of sports, I seen you got your team got your invitation to the Alabama Invitational this year.
Alabama, yeah.
Because
They're gonna get whooped up again.
How long's that how's on that playoffs been going off now? What, 5 years, and Alabama's been there every year, and Clemson's only been there what, 2?
This is third one.
Third, and then they're gonna get knocked out early on top of
They ain't
it.
getting knocked out.
So you're gonna have
See,
an all
I could care
SEC
No, you're not.
I could care less.
national
about
championship.
Because this is the thing.
What do you want to talk about?
Alabama ain't
Separate-
played nobody
I'm gonna
this
turn
year.
the mics off.
Neither's Clemson.
Clemson has more top ranked wins this season than anyone.
So they still ain't played nobody.
They have.
But they lost to who was
They
it?
lost to Syracuse.
Syracuse.
They
This
did.
is useless.
Syracuse.
We could talk about how the 28 pages were finally released and actually
What?
of the 9/11 Commission.
Oh, really?
I hadn't heard about that.
You didn't hear about? Dude, that was during the election
What happened?
cycle.
What happened? What happened?
Dude, the 28 that whole chapter that was missing from the 9/11 Commission. I read the first 7 pages of it, and
What is it?
it damn Saudi Arabia. Like
I mean, you hear
the
him.
people all the way up in the top of the Saudi government were sending personal checks to many of the
Saudi
hijackers.
Arabia? See, I don't. Again, I'm not surprised by that though.
No.
No,
But
because
why was it hush
most
hush
of the
and
terrorists
shut
were
down?
Saudi Arabian, were they
Also
not?
more of that damn meat.
I mean, if I remember correctly,
But why are we hiding
Well,
that
thank you.
information?
because we're friends with Saudi Arabia.
I don't.
So what you're
Because of
saying
the
is
oil.
what you're saying is
Because-
Bush did 9/11.
No, a bunch of
Well,
pissed off Muslims
Go,
did.
let's talk about the.
Let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about the Fourth Amendment. You were saying that law enforcement
Why are you going to bring this up on
violates the Fourth Amendment. I'm curious.
My papers, my persons, and my effects. Because whether I'm doing anything right or wrong, there's no reason for you to know.
He's 100% correct on that.
So you're saying I'm not speaking for you. I'm not.
It depends on what, like, how are you framing the question? I mean, you can't just ask as a general question.
Are you saying all law enforcement violate this, or it is violated? Because let me start.
I think I was kidding earlier when I
well,
said what I
no,
said, but I want to know what you're asking.
But let me take a little bit of air or a little bit of tension out, because I would first of all say most law enforcement, generally speaking, are anti-government, which is a very difficult concept for some people to wrap their head around. But the average cop that you talk to, at least in concept, is anti-government. Now that doesn't mean they're not guilty of overreach, because when it's personal, it's a little bit harder to see.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask them general questions about about government, they would probably fall to the libertarian side of things. Okay,
Right.
So don't think that you're going to offend me by any means, because I'm very much a libertarian. But are you saying that in general the function of law enforcement violates the Fourth Amendment, or are you saying that it practice that happens often, or I know you were kind of joking, but let's
No,
go ahead
I
and
like
go
this. I like this conversation. It's just it was asked in such a general way that I think there was no way for me to give a right answer.
Yeah.
Naturally. That was the intent.
I know how trolls work, bro.
I'm not trolling.
No, I mean it's a tough question. Like you have to boil it down to the nature of humanity, and know that people are going to do awful things, and understand that in one way or another you have to be able to prevent it or stop it once it's started.
I completely agree. I completely agree with your basis that humanity, people are evil and they'll do bad things.
I feel like that is. So I feel like if you're going to say that you have a right to privacy in your papers, your persons, and effects, and how do I phrase this? You either need to go full communist and say, as the enforcement of virtue or law or whatever you want it to be, the defender of life, we have a right to watch your every move in any place and you have no privacy in order to defend all life, or you have complete freedom to do whatever you want, right or wrong.
But draw me an example of what you think would be a violation of what you're talking about. Let's say your personal property. 'Cause I'm not understanding what exactly your complaint would be.
Well, I think I wasn't making a complaint earlier because no specific example had been lodged, so I wasn't actually responding to anything. I was just joking. You'd have to give me some sort of concrete example, and I'd have to let you know.
I'll give you an example, and you tell me.
Okay.
So a neighbor has a problem with his neighbor. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say it's not related to drugs, but it's just that they don't like each other. Okay.
Right.
However, he calls the cops and he says, "Hey, Billy Bob Thornton over there is selling drugs. Cops need to come out and check on it." Okay. So he makes the complaint that it's drug related. He says he's smoking drugs and it's bothering me because I can smell the drugs all in my house. Okay. So we come out and we go up and knock on the door, and when he opens the door, we smell drugs. Okay. The cops smell drugs.
Mm-hmm.
They ask him to step outside. They tell him he's detained. They go get an arrest warrant. They talk to a judge, and they say, "Hey, we have a guy detained right now in his house. When he opened the door, we smelled marijuana inside the house. We would like to search it." And a person from another branch of government says, "You know what? That sounds reasonable to me, that you're smelling it, and it probably is in there." He issues a warrant. We go serve the search warrant. We find marijuana. Was that an overstep?
I would say yes because it's marijuana.
Well, let's say that.
But I understand what you're saying.
Guns had a smell. Let's say illegal firearms have a smell.
No, let's say it's heroin. No one needs heroin. That does.
Let's say you can smell heroin, which you can. But let's just say, let's say you could see paraphernalia that's consistent with heroin.
My argument would go down to the fact. Let's see. I don't think there's any good that heroin can do anyone. I don't think it should exist. And so you're either damaging yourself or someone else by using it.
Let's go back to the marijuana, because it's still against the law. I don't know any cops who give much of a crap about marijuana,
but it is.
I agree. I don't know any cops personally who have ever said they have a personal problem with marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
But it is against the law.
That is correct.
So, is that now? If you're going to stand and say, "I don't think marijuana should be against the law," I agree 100%.
But that's not what you're asking me.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, in this scenario where it's illegal, does the law enforcement have the right to do what they do? Yeah.
Are you saying they shouldn't? I understand this isn't something you thought of. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No, well, you have
say
you should put someone on the spot.
Well,
but
I'm not.
You're not trolling right now.
But I live this, I live it. So I understand that it's kind of not fair to
You do have to err on the side of caution. I mean, it literally goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the shooting. You have to err on the side of caution.
Which one being caution? Caution that maybe we would overstep?
If the guy's reaching for his gun then there's no way to know whether he's going to kill you and everyone else in that room. You don't know if he's got a chest bomb on that he might be going to trigger.
This guy's a worst case scenario kind of guy.
I like him.
I do too. Jeez, is that a wire?
Chest bomb. Got to double tap in the head. Just make sure.
Man.
I like it.
Oh my god, it's horrible. But yeah, I mean, it
I think it's hard to give a hard and fast answer in any of these situations. I will say that.
I guess here's the point. Here's the statement I would make to someone who had kind of an unthought out anger. And not saying you're not thought out, but saying right now in this moment you're not really prepared for this.
Right.
So I would say that most of the house calls that law enforcement make end with the result of the cops saying, "This is not a criminal issue. We are leaving. Hands off. We're not doing anything." Because most cops, well, there's two reasons for that. Lots of cops, I won't say most, lots of cops are mindful of overreach. They're mindful of not violating someone's Fourth Amendment. Second to that, there's paperwork involved. Listen, it's a reality. So most of the time, cops are looking for how, and I think there's actually good in that there's a deterrent, because it would be a bad world if, the competition of like ferreting out crime was like the only motivating factor for police officers, because they would be comparing numbers and stats, saying, "Oh, I arrested more than you," and that's like I'm reading that book, The Gulag Archipelago. You don't want that. You don't want a world where cops are competing to arrest as many people as they can.
Sounds like something else we've talked about before.
That is a bad world. But that's a little different. That's a little different, but okay.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, but I think most people, they take their experience where there was more there, and the cops did end up doing something, and they apply that to the general experience.
Oh yeah, anyone who's had a bad experience is going to generalize that experience as a form of self-defense.
They'll have their anecdotal
Right.
experience, and that's all they can see past.
Right.
Or they can't see past it, I should say.
And they'll leave out what they did wrong, too.
When they're retelling, yeah, it'll be
I was sitting there minding my own business.
We also were smoking. For instance, I responded to this call. I responded to a call of a lady who did not want to call us, but her neighbor was smoking so much weed that it was coming down into her apartment. And
Oh,
it's all she
geez.
could smell. She had talked to the neighbor.
You don't have a right to intoxicate someone else.
She had talked to the neighbor for months and asked him to not do it. She had talked to the management, and finally she'd had enough, and she said, "I have to call the police."
Well,
She called us, begrudgingly called us.
I forget which founding father said it, but your right to swing your fist stops when it meets my nose.
Right.
Yep.
So when your rights interfere with my rights,
Yep.
that's where we got to draw a line.
And I've found this is pretty interesting about going back to marijuana. Me and Scott have talked about this a million times. Well, I used to work in mental health security at a mental health facility, the jail, and now where I work. And I've never had to fight anyone who was high on marijuana, ever. I've had to fight a lot of people who are high on heroin.
It's a fight you're going to win 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never had a negative experience with someone who was just using marijuana. Okay,
But synthetic marijuana, though,
that's
different.
That's
And
not
that is-
marijuana.
Yeah.
different.
That's something else.
I've had to fight some people on that.
I have too. The bath salts. I've had to fight plenty of people on that. But as far as like people who are like mindful of what they're putting in their body, and it was marijuana was their drug of choice, not one issue. But I totally forgot where I was going with this.
That's ironic.
Potheads are okay, but everyone else is bad.
Oh, just going back to I don't think that the average law enforcement officer you encounter on the streets is going to have is going to share the reason for the law being written in the first place. So the legislator that thought up, we should make this against law because of Jesus, okay, or whatever it is. or even if you want to go back, well, they couldn't figure out a tax it. Or there's all conspiracy
Whether you like it or
theories
not,
on
the
that.
founding fathers didn't do it for that.
Right, but that's not the mindset of the officer that's probably putting you in handcuffs for it. It's
He's got to do his job.
in large, yes. And I will say this: the times I've caught harder drugs, it was because they had marijuana on them.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that, like, the term gateway is it's a loose, extremely loose, because I don't think marijuana takes you there, but I'm not surprised that if you're there, there's also marijuana.
That's what it is. It's not that marijuana leads to heroin. It's that heroin will definitely use marijuana. It's a lower threshold. Of
Well,
course
I had a
it is.
friend. He said he never would have tried cocaine if he never smoked marijuana.
That's true, but I don't think that's.
I think
it's
it's
not the
one
drug,
of-
that's
I think
something
it's one of those once you cross a line.
But that's
You
the
open
person.
your-
That's the human
As a
being.
person, you open yourself up and you're more willing to try other.
But it's not the
Avenues.
drug. It is
Once you
that
s-
is the mentality of the human being.
Once you've crossed into the black market, I mean, it's like, well, I've already taken that leap. I'm already
Yeah.
here.
Right.
So let's get
That's
it
also
out.
true,
Let's get it
yeah.
off the black market.
You know what made me want to try cocaine?
What's that?
That's stripper's ass.
That was later in life. Dewey Cox, Walk Hard Story. Of all things, was a movie that made me want to try cocaine.
Why?
Because of this one line. It takes all your bad feelings and turns them into good. And
So you're saying we should outlaw movies?
I'm saying that all movies should be outlawed. But no, seriously, that's what made me want to try it. What made me want to try acid was Jimi Hendrix. It's not the fact of that it was
There's
marijuana.
a lot of interesting studies on acid. It's not a normal.
If you want to read good studies on acid, read the CIA reports of it, from where they were dropping it into parties of people being unknown. And,
Yeah.
Because they thought it was going to be like some kind of truth serum.
I heard about that. No, I heard about it. I heard,
And it
this
wasn't
is
a
a real.
truth
This is a
serum.
real thing. Have you heard about this?
Like
This is an actual thing
Not
that happened.
surprised.
there was a
Oh, yeah.
New Year's Eve party where they dropped a whole bunch of acid into drinks of people and all this other stuff, and the guys reported that there was no side effects. Well, come like a day or so later, they were getting all these reports of these people in hospitals that were like freaking the fuck out, like pulling their skin off and trying to kill other people and all this other
Wow.
shit because it was the acid.
Because the government violated their
Who
rights.
Who wants to talk about the?
Well, the CIA is not actually a.
The CIA is
Government
supposed to distribute crack,
organization.
not smoke it.
Who wants to talk about the most hated form or branch of government? Sure. Most hated governmental agency.
What, the INS?
I would say
IRS.
the ATF is they're my top. Not anymore in their current embodiment, from what I've heard, but the whole Ruby Ridge situation.
Oh, baby.
If any portion,
Let's
of
just entrap someone.
if any portion, well, no, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. If any portion of that story is true, I don't see. There's no redemption. Like the ATF. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Ruby Ridge story.
I've heard of it, but I don't know the
They
details.
found a guy who was modifying weapons.
Okay,
in
so
some rural town.
This guy moved from wherever he was to a place on the top of Ruby Ridge, that's the name of the mountain in Idaho, about 40 miles north of an huge KKK gathering ground.
He was not affiliated.
He was not, but he was going to those. He started going to those meetings just as a recreational social outlet, and an undercover ATF. Was it ATF or was it FBI at that
It was
point?
ATF.
Okay, so
No. You're right. It was neither. I want to say it was a local.
there's some
Anyway.
undercover agent said, "Hey, man, now." He was undercover. Obviously, didn't
No,
tell him
they
who
heard
it was.
he had done this. They heard he modified weapons.
I didn't know that, but that's not the point. He said, "Hey, man, would you? I got some shotguns I need modified." He basically asked them to saw off the shotguns, and the guy was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do that for you."
There's more to that.
Excuse me, what?
He said, "I'll do it, but I won't go shorter than 16 and a half inches."
Oh, okay.
He told the guy that he
So
would
he
not.
was going to keep them legal.
He said he would cut them shorter, but he would not violate the law.
They conveniently left that out of the documentary I watched.
Go ahead.
And so he goes and does this, and this agency reports back to. They report the ATF?
Hold on. There's more to this. So
I'm going to let you take it from
okay.
here.
Well, you seem to know a little bit more about some of the background, but this part I do know about. He cut them down 16.5 inches. The problem is he measured the exterior of the barrel. The ATF measures from the breech. So they were half an inch too short. So he sold 2 shotguns that were half an inch under the legal limit. Clearly not an intentional.
Right.
I mean,
and he voiced it. I'm not going to go any shorter than that.
So now, well, you want me to,
So he is then arrested.
no,
What? I thought they had him and he posted bail.
no.
And then they came to get him because he didn't show up for court. And that's when they were on his
That
property.
may be true, but I don't think it's true. I think from what I heard, the ATF comes to this town and they tell the sheriff, "Hey, we're going to go get this guy," and the sheriff says, "Don't do that." He says, "I know this guy. I will go get him and bring him back to you." And the ATF says, "No, we're going to go." And they get a SWAT team together and they start heading towards this guy's house. Now, he might be right. Maybe it was after a bond, but they ignored the local sheriff, which is a pattern I will bring up with the ATF. And they moved towards his house in the woods, and his son is out hunting on the land.
They're flanking his territory,
With the
trying to
dog.
get information.
Right. Well, no, they're coming in with the SWAT team to arrest him.
Dog starts barking.
They shoot the dog. The son shoots and kills an ATF agent.
Do they ever identify
Nope,
themselves?
they never call
Nope,
a warning, never do anything.
But he
And
shot-
that is where everything gets screwy.
He shot an ATF agent. They shot and killed his son. They move into the house. They hear the gunshots. A big gunfight ensues. He's got friends at the house with him.
I think he has like 1 or 2 friends, and then he has a wife and a daughter as well.
Well, a baby, an infant.
Yes.
So I think they killed 2 more ATF agents. 3 ATF agents die during this siege. At one point, his wife comes outside with the infant child to surrender. Clearly, she's wearing like a bedgown, you know. A sniper on the ATF shoots her in the face.
No. She's headed back into the house at this point. I don't remember what happened, but the daughter is right beside her. The daughter is like...
She's holding.
Yeah.
She's holding an infant.
And she has an older daughter, too.
Okay,
the daughter
I don't
is
know.
like on her shoulder right here. They're like arm over arm. Bullet goes through the mom. Pieces of the face fly onto the daughter.
She drops an infant. I mean, they kill her in cold blood. There's no way she had a weapon. There's no... Did you see any way there... There's no mistaking this is just a woman with her kid. They shoot her in the face. What one guy does. He comes back later. Anyway, he ends up coming into custody.
11 days later. Like, this is a long...
This was what?
Guess
in
how
the
long he-
80s or
92.
90s?
Guess how long he gets
Early
in prison?
90s.
Life. 1 year.
For the shot-off shotgun.
1 year total.
But, I mean, that's what they find him
He
guilty
serves
of.
a year, he comes out and he sues the ATF and he wins.
Oh, absolutely.
So here's the deal.
Absolutely.
Let's fast forward to Waco, Texas.
Oh,
David
man.
Koresh.
Why you gonna bring up Waco?
Hold on.
That's like one of my favorite.
Because I'm ready to play Far Cry
Let's-
5. That's why.
Ready to play what?
Far Cry 5.
Oh yeah, it's kind of a similar.
It's a
story.
Montana town where a
religious cult.
extremely conservative religious cult takes over.
Yeah,
We get through this. So fast forward to Waco, Texas. They go and they say, "Hey, we think this cult has illegal weapons, and we're going to go get them." And the sheriff says, "Don't do that. I will go up there. I will call him down here, and we can arrest him here. Don't go to that cult." Little unknown fact about that cult: the cult believed the government was going to come get them one day. Okay, so here comes the government.
Are you really paranoid
Here-
if it happens?
So here comes the government in SWAT gear to come get them.
Now,
Okay.
do you know how the cult was alerted?
No, I don't.
Because this is a fun fact. Though.
Okay, go ahead.
A news van had heard from the ATF and CIA that there was going to be a raid.
Yeah.
And they were looking for the cult, and they stopped and asked a mailman who was a member of the cult.
Yep.
And then the mailman called back and said, "Hey, they're coming today."
Okay. All right, that's good. That's good. So they surround
The
Waco,
news
and there's
screws
a
everything up, don't
standoff. Do you remember there was some?
News wouldn't have known if the sheriff would have gone
Yeah.
and got him.
Did you know there was some there was a little bit of controversy over who started firing in the back, right? Over who started shooting in the back of the compound
Right.
where they found those flashbangs and the fire started.
It was the CIA or the ATF.
Well, here's the deal. Well, it was ATF starting the building. Here's a fun fact: the ATF agent that shot the lady in Ruby Ridge in the face was over the SWAT team, or it was over the snipers in the back of the compound that started shooting. Same person. So the ATF not only didn't fire this guy for cold-blooded murder, they promoted him. So the ATF to me is like, I mean,
So that shows you he was doing something he was told to do.
Yep.
Out the road.
I just think he was a fucking malevolent person. I mean, I don't. Anyway, if you have a guy who accidentally cuts 2 shotguns off, you need to send him a letter in the mail and say, hey, that was wrong. Don't do that again. And let that be fucking the end of that. I mean, I just don't.
Right,
that's clearly not a guy who is trying
Here's
to.
a fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So the real question is, well, no, that's not a real question. I have a question, but why? Why is there a barrel length? What is that all about? Does it actually endanger someone to have short barrels?
With shotguns, you could argue that you're going to have a wider spread, but when it comes to
that's all I thought it was,
but when
which
it
is
comes
dangerous.
To rifles, there's also a legal limit. I think it is because the shorter the rifle, the more aggressive it looks. I think that is the only factor.
I think concealability.
I don't think most people think that
because
far through it, man.
I think that because, like with a CWP, it does not cover rifles and shotguns, and I think that's what it is. It's for conceal. Part of it is the law is for length is concealability.
I don't think that people that legislate law think about it like that. I think you're accrediting too much common sense to legislators.
I mean, can you think of any other reason?
It looks more aggressive.
Well, how long has that been a law? How long has it been a law?
Why does a Ford grip make a weapon more dangerous? Because it's in law, it does.
I mean, the only thing is it improves your handheld and can improve your performance.
It does not affect. It actually makes the weapon less effective at range to shorten the barrel length.
I agree.
It is an insanely stupid.
That's why I'm saying. I think that's why the law is.
Interesting. So that's the reason. That's why all this happened.
No one knows what.
I mean, I think that's because I know people used to. I mean, back in the West, I'm sure people want to go and they expecting trouble. They cut off the length of their double barrel shotgun because more bang for your buck, wider spread. Mm-hmm. If you're in close quarters, you can take out more people with less ammo, and you don't have to reload as often.
Did you just say?
No, I didn't. So,
which leads us to Oklahoma City.
Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah.
That old boy had it out for the government.
Because of Ruby Ridge and because of Waco.
I got a minivan, chocolate full of fertilizer.
Was it related?
Waco is what pushed him over the edge.
Yep.
Ruby Ridge is what got his attention. Waco pushed him over the edge.
Really?
And he felt like the government was actively aggressing the people, and he was basically leading the charge at a fight back towards the government.
Timothy McVeigh was fucking crazy.
He was. I mean, there's nothing about what he did that's just or valid. Or
so did he ever write anything that lets you know that Ruby Ridge caught his eye? And
I think so.
like a manifesto kind of thing.
I don't know that he wrote a manifesto. He probably had something somewhere. There were 2 guys he worked with.
He didn't have YouTube videos.
They killed him really quick, you know.
During his last interview,
Dylan Ruth's probably going to go quick too. Who? Dylan Ruth, the Charleston shooter. But he'll be one that gets put to death really quick.
Is he? Didn't they already do his?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna kill him.
They already did his.
Or did he plead guilty?
I think he pled guilty so he wouldn't get killed.
Yeah, he refused to. He refused to have lawyers represent him. He represented himself.
Yeah, he refused trial, so maybe that's what it was. Okay, I was thinking he was getting death.
Have you ever seen the footage of Lee Harvey Oswald being escorted down the hallway after the shooting? When he's yelling that he's a patsy. He's going down the hallway going, I'm the patsy, I'm the patsy. Like, patsy is like the person they put it all on.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen that video?
No, but
it's haunting.
Did you know that with all the JFK files that were just dumped, there was at least one where J. Edgar Hoover says that their immediate and pressing goal is to make the public believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone.
I think I had a college professor that was obsessed with the JFK shooting, and he presented a ton. You know how people keep dying if they go against the Clintons? Like the Clintons are, right. That happened with the JFK thing. Anyone who was a witness, hundreds and hundreds of people were killed by really strange occurrences.
Just like Las Vegas.
Right. So I think that the professor made a pretty good argument that a guy named James White, the CIA operative, killed JFK with a .50 caliber rifle from the front, from the grassy knoll. Okay, and he said the reason is, if you watch the Zapruder film, you can see it clearly. When the shots go off, the crowd starts running up the grassy hill, and he says, "Now this is Texas, guys. People run towards gunshots," and a lot of those people said there was a federal agent named James White that had credentials packing a sniper rifle up, and that he told them he was security detail. I mean, he clearly got shot from the front. The building where Oswald was behind him. There's no, if you watch the film, tell me a bullet hit him from behind, and I'll tell you you're a fucking idiot. I mean, there's no way. His brain flies back onto the car. I mean, he was shot from the front.
Are you familiar with Bill Cooper's feelings on this matter? The guy that wrote Behold a Pale Horse? You know that book?
No.
Okay. So, that's just textbook conspiracy. He put it all together. He was naval intelligence in the 80s. Apparently saw a lot of things, had official documents come across his desk, and in the index in the back of his book has all kinds of declassified documents to support all of his claims. He says that in the actual, real, unedited Zapruder film that you can see, obviously, that the driver put the bullet in the guy's head. Which, I don't know. I've never seen an official, undoctored Zapruder film.
So he's saying that the driver just turns around and...
Said there's a point where you can see that the driver turns around, and it's right before the shooting. Right before it. So, I don't know. I mean, I've just read that.
I think it's obvious that the government had something to do with the assassination.
As usual.
It's how I haven't studied it, but the fact that they classified the information after everything, I mean, that just, and then when it was supposed to initially come out, they're like, no, we're going to hold it longer, you know, because there's people who were involved that are still alive.
They were supposed to dump like 3,200 files. They dumped 2,800 files, and the rest are under 6-month review still.
Right.
And those will probably be on indefinite hiatus for a while.
I mean...
But also, one of those papers says that a CIA agent was tipped off to Hitler's presence in Colombia. So,
oh, really?
In those JFK files. So
that's something I find myself
take it for what it's worth.
More and more every day is the history of World War II, because it's our most documented war ever, hands down. And the more stuff they show, the more stuff they talk about the Hitler bunker and everything else. It makes more sense that it was a body double. Like, it really does. Like, Hitler escaped through one of the tunnels. Like, it makes so much sense.
The fact that there was never a claimed kill on his life until way later when the Soviets said they had his body the whole time.
Exactly.
And just conveniently didn't tell anyone.
The Soviets should not be trusted to any degree ever for anything.
Right, so
Except
I think
for Putin. We can trust Putin. He's a good guy.
Well, he's our president, so...
Well, he rides the horses bare-chested.
I mean,
like a real man.
No, he rides bears bare-chested.
Especially in that era, what I agree... I would not have trusted anything the Soviets said.
No, I mean, because they would shoot their own people, dude.
They did worse than their own
we
people.
do too, but,
No, like, they would shoot their own people for desertion.
When do we shoot our own people?
Used to do it too.
We killed JFK.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a Democrat. Democrats killed their own people. Democrats started the KKK.
I'd say it goes a little bit deeper than the Democratic Party, but,
I'll say this. It does. There's right and there's wrong, and I think that liberals typically fall on the wrong side of things.
I agree.
So it is not fair to say all evils are committed by Democrats.
But
this is probably cheap, but let's clarify that when we say liberal, we're not talking about classical
No, I mean
liberalism.
leftists.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Now,
For that one guy who cares about it that's watching right now.
well, but what you know, really, there
you
are
think our
some things
audience is bigger than it is.
I do fall into there's some liberal ideas I have. There's a few classical
Libertarianism is socially liberal and fiscally conservative. So yeah.
But I don't. Nowadays, the center's gone. Republicans have lost their center. Liberals have lost their center. We're just in flux.
And they've all lost their minds.
Every one of them.
I agree with that.
What are we, $17 trillion in debt?
Yeah.
Someone's lost their mind somewhere.
And how many millions do we give away a year?
All of it is the quest
for no reason.
Of the least... Never mind.
All of it is the quest for equality. I truly believe that.
Until we're bankrupt like the rest of the world.
We are bankrupt like the rest of the world, just nobody believes it yet.
Yeah.
True. But I still think we're so much like we're talking about the medical thing, because a lot of people say, well, healthcare in other places works a lot better.
No, it
when it's
doesn't.
socialized. Well, hold on. For instance, they want to talk about the Norwegian areas, which, if you really go pound for pound, they are not way beyond what we do. They spend about the same per population that we do, and they are not diverse cultures. So for you to look at like a group of these people living out in an isolated area and to say, well, socialism's working for them, they're all white. They're all cousins.
They're all the same.
They're all the same. And it didn't even work for the Puritans, and they were all the same. But it's not really a fair comparison. You're not comparing apples to apples when you say that. And secondly, we still have more freedom than most other countries. So people say, well, England has this great healthcare system. Well, they also are 45% more likely to die in hospitals in England. They lose 8,000 physicians a year because no one wants to fucking go to school, to doctor school, and then get paid what they do in England. They come to America. Yaron Brooks talks about this. If you want the best medical care, you go to America. Still true. I mean, we have the best doctors. We have the best military. We are the best. We are still the best. Barely. There's
despite our own attempts to make it not true.
Despite our attempts. And it's getting to the point now where when a leftist says, well, capitalism's failing. Well, we don't really have capitalism in its pure form anymore.
No.
We're close to it, closer than some, but we are not a free country now. We're having... If I have any money going to the public school system right now, that's a problem. Because I don't have any kids in the public school system. I mean, fucking Pickens County built a library a few years ago.
You really? Discussed this before.
You don't. If you're paying for that, there's a problem. It's not capitalist. It's overgrown government.
Right, I agree.
So, are you an anarchist or a minarchist?
I don't.
Oh, he likes the men.
He's a Menonist.
It's a hard question.
It is a hard question
because we have the friend who made the argument about private police, and I have been turning that over in my head a lot. I can kind of see it. I can't see legislation being privatized. I think there has to be some government. I don't see how you can get away with it. Now, people say, what about infrastructure? Fuck you. Like, people made money before those roads were there. People made money. The government taxed them, and then they built the roads. It wasn't like we needed the roads. The chicken and the egg kind of argument, you know? The government waited for people to make money, and then they came in like a fucking, like a vulture, or like some kind of a just scum-infested being. And they took that money and they made things. Okay, some of them were good. But we didn't need them. Okay, like, I don't buy that shit. The only thing I can see is there's got to be some... I think it's like this. Politicians should not be paid. Right there, that change. If you make a politician is a voluntary position, I think that cleans up a lot of shit. If you say, a sheriff even. So you have a sheriff and the community thinks you do such a good job, they support you, fine, but you're not paid. You're not paid a salary. You're not paid a guaranteed salary. Or you have a job and you also sheriff. That's how politicians used to work. But the idea that we're paying congressmen, I don't agree with that. It adds too much into the mix.
I agree 100%.
And I would say
Once Benjamin Franklin said, once you make a position of power a position of profit, then you're you're only going to get corrupt people.
Does that make sense? Like, there's another way to. We are so far off base by having paid politicians, or not even paid politicians that make a lot of money. If you said, well, politicians pay $30,000 a year, okay.
that way you can assure that you have the time and resources dedicated to do your job.
Right.
Yeah, or you would say even $40,000, $50,000 a year. I can have $50,000. Why are we paying them more than that? Though?
In the six figures,
No way.
every single one of them.
And
It's crazy.
after you serve one term, you get a retirement of a great percentage of your pay.
It's not right. It's not how it should be.
They used to, if you had a job that required your full time, where you could not provide your living elsewhere. Like, say the town was big enough, you had to be a sheriff, and you couldn't have a farm also, then you would get a salary. Now, if there was two people who wanted that job, you lowered the salary until only one
accepted it.
So why don't we do that to make it a very low salary, and then, or you got these independently wealthy people. Most
Like the Rothschilds?
Or Trump.
I mean, most senators. Name a senator that did not have a private law practice or medical practice or some other business where they made themselves rich. Then they go into public works and public office. They don't need a salary. No. Do away with it. Why am I paying you to be an asshole?
Well, here's the thing.
What
I'm not paying you. Someone's taking my money and giving it to you.
Right.
You're right.
So I should just throw you in the Boston Harbor.
It's a bit of a slippery slope. But
I'm just kidding. I love mixing my metaphors. It makes for a good time.
yeah. All right, guys.
Oh, we're not done yet.
We're not?
I don't know. Are we?
What do you want to do?
Everything?
Take your clothes off?
That's not it.
Come on now.
That's included in everything.
That's
Yeah,
included.
we do this the first time you're on the show. You have to trust me.
No.
Take your clothes off.
Take your clothes off.
This show has been formally redacted by the township of me.
Listen, I already know I'm gonna lose my job one day for this show. It's gonna be an off topic.
Probably. Most
I
likely.
don't know. It's probably gonna be you.
Probably will be me.
No, it'll be Amber.
Probably.
I don't know. She does all good along with certain people ain't around.
Yeah, she was
influence
bad.
her.
And when you and her were on, no problem.
Yep.
Great. She was great. But you gonna come on the show again?
Every time.
Do you like it?
I do.
I don't think he likes it.
This is
I
fun.
don't know. He seems to enjoy
How
it.
you live right across, so it's not a bad drive for you.
No, man. No, I'm into this.
This is the Drake house, by the way.
I've noticed by the everywhere that says Drake House.
Do you have Instagram, or you're totally social media?
I'm not into the CIA.
Well, anyway, this is what I make funny videos. I have very useful ones like how to survive hurricanes and all kinds of stuff.
I think we would be good friends.
The best of friends.
Let me tell you about my best friend.
I've been friends with Scott for
I'm currently building a bug-out vehicle, a 2001 Jeep Cherokee.
Nice.
how long have we been friends again? We always bring this up. I never remember.
Too long.
A long time.
Almost 20 years.
Very long time.
Yeah.
Are you from these parts?
I am born and raised on this driveway.
So did you go to the local elementary school
I did.
and the local middle school?
No.
Did you?
There wasn't a middle school when I went to.
Oh,
So
that's
he's
right.
that old.
That's right. That's right. And did you go to the local high school?
No.
No. My parents paid to put me through Shannon Forest.
I went to the local elementary and middle school and high school.
How old are you, sir?
I would have been class of 08.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm 03.
God, you're so young.
I don't know if we should say. Do you know Bob? He can still hear me.
No, Bob.
Who whose family owns a local pizza place?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah, I worked there. That was my first job.
Okay. I ate pizza there.
For a long time.
I don't like it anymore. Pizza's not that good.
Well, some of my favorite employees don't work there
The
anymore.
lasagna is if my
I've made so many of those.
no, I'm not lasagna. I had the spaghetti and meat sauce. If my dog was dying,
Oh no!
I would not feed that spaghetti to my dog.
I mean, I never ate it. I made a lot.
That's pretty bad.
It used to be great. No.
Do you-
When I was a kid, it was the bomb.com. Well, there was no .coms, but it was still the bomb.
Do you remember about
The bad thing is that's the
time,
second person I've heard reference that.
probably 05, 06 when calzones came back?
Sounds like
Yeah.
some kind of.
That was because of me.
Yeah, it's
Good deal.
I was like, let's
It's
take a
bad.
personal
All
pan
around
and let's.
bad. Try that meat.
I don't know. I don't know about
You don't know what the Brady Bill loophole is?
Go for it.
All right,
Just-
so
just
at
try
a
it.
gun show, at a
fucking
trade
delicious.
show,
Okay.
you do not have to identify yourself or have a background check run if you are purchasing from a private dealer or a
forward.
collector.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is how many criminals get their guns.
Hold on.
No, it's not.
Hold on. I can buy from him right now, private seller, and not have documentation.
Right.
Which is the same thing as that.
Yeah. I mean, that's all there is to it. But everybody likes to jump on it as a loophole that needs to close because that's how criminals get their guns. And
It's not how. No.
I don't think that's how to get their guns, but
I've never seen anyone at a gun show. I'm like, yeah, they're a criminal.
private seller.
And listen, I can pick them out. I'm just saying.
That's not a loophole that only exists in gun shows. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
oh, right. It's just. I mean, it's just a
it's a
loophole.
private
It's just,
seller
that's the example that's primarily used everywhere.
at gun shows, which I don't think that's not how many. I'm sure it happens,
I think everyone should have guns. Everyone.
but I think the way criminals get them is they steal them.
Yeah, I don't. People leave their cars unlocked. So criminals get their guns.
People leave their cars locked.
You want a hot gun?
Yeah, they steal them, and then
I mean,
they
they're not
buy
hard
them
to come
from.
by. You'd be surprised how
There was
easy.
I know.
14 people in Pickens County that got their cars broken into.
Hold the mic up.
because they were unlocked.
I'm just joking.
Asshole. Like all the time, asshole.
It's a full-time job.
He is.
No. It's not a job for you.
It's a lifestyle.
This mead's amazing.
I'm aware.
You haven't tried it?
Yes, I have.
You should.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I drank out of Scott's cup.
That's how she's aware.
So you gonna pour me some more?
And apparently you're pouring me more because
Yeah.
I didn't drink enough last night. I'm pretty sure I drank my body weight in alcohol last night.
It was only like 40 pounds.
No.
Pretty bad when
I'm
the
about
the woman will
160,
drink
yeah.
with you, but the rest of the men won't because they're too much of bitches.
Yep.
If only that was true.
So what do you want to talk about?
Ever since I quit Facebook, I have no idea what's even cool
Relevant.
to talk. Yeah.
What you ate for dinner is still relevant.
The last thing that was big on Facebook was Me Too when I dropped it.
Oh my God.
And I had already made fun of it to people.
Me too.
Show,
I think it's an interesting.
show me on this doll where Harvey Weinstein touched you. No one liked that.
No, listen. Yeah, I'm sorry, Pamela Anderson. She put it best. It's a dead issue now, as far as I'm concerned, because Pamela Anderson.
When she schools you on it, what left can be said? Or what is left to be said?
Do you remember that video with her in the band called Lit?
No.
They're playing on.
I
her
remember
body.
a video of her.
The what on her body?
She's the stage. They're like They've got the whole band set up on her private parts and everything. It's a music video on MTV. That was a
Never
kid.
saw it.
Lit.
That was when MTV still showed music
Yeah,
videos.
yeah. Oh, so all right. Well, a long time ago,
Back in the 1900s.
before you were born,
Back in the 1990s.
there was a music channel called MTV.
I remember.
There's one. There wasn't MTV 2 or 3.
No, I remember when Real World and Road Rules started, and that was
Then you
what
don't-
kind of
then-
took
then
it
you
all
don't-
out.
Then you don't remember MTV.
No,
So
I'm saying that's what started to take it all out.
before that,
Right.
Before.
there were these things called music.
I have
videos.
heard tell of this.
And they used to play them.
Video killed the radio star?
Stop.
This was before the magic That is called YouTube also.
Oh yeah,
Oh, my
YouTube's only from 2005, isn't it?
YouTube's amazing.
It's not that old.
No,
It's
it's,
amazing
not.
Because with YouTube, now we have no need for
Anything.
TV because you can just plug in which one you want to listen to.
But you know what gets me?
Cut.
They still do the music video awards.
Yeah.
Like they still do it, and they host it on MTV. When's the last time you've seen a video on MTV?
I don't. We dropped cable when I was 16.
Exactly.
What's your favorite like thing that you shouldn't do? Mine's Oreos and milk. I mean, I could eat.
Oh, I thought you meant real things, like
Yeah,
what you
no,
were
no.
thinking about
No,
while
that
you're
is. I'm
touching
listening.
yourself or something.
I could eat. Well, that I would eat Oreos and milk over touching myself. It's that amazing.
Thing that you shouldn't do.
What about?
That's-
Is it, you got to weigh in on.
I'm a
this.
libertarian. I don't have a shouldn't do.
Really,
I'm just kidding. I'm sure there is. I just can't think of it right now.
dude. Even with me, it's like there's things I think legally should be allowed that I still don't think people should. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. I don't think people should drink for the purpose of assisting them with their day. Like, if you come home and you're like, man, I've had a hard day, I need to drink. I think that's...
I don't think people should be allowed to medicate.
Shouldn't be allowed to or shouldn't do it?
Well, shouldn't.
Should. Right.
Right.
Okay, I agree with you then.
So you give people the freedom to do it, they're gonna do it though.
Yeah, but I'm not so concerned with that. I'm not trying to make everyone equal here.
I was
I'm
using a
saying-
soft example.
Huh?
I was using a soft example.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Then it's. I think that people should try to rise above all chemical dependencies, except water. I guess you probably.
That's not the same
water.
thing. It's a necessity. It's not a. So we are.
Water makes you weak.
We are. Okay, yeah. Dehydration makes you real fucking weak, like dead weak.
Well, when I used to coach wrestling, I would tell my students that when they'd get off the mat for water. But water makes you weak. Stop being a bitch.
I remember like in football, that's what it was. You don't need to drink water. You need to play the game. And it's like, well, I'm having Charlie horses, and I can't run.
My body's
anymore.
telling me otherwise, but
Like everything's
you
getting.
remember when I used to say water makes you weak to other kids? Oh,
Everything's getting real hot, and I'm about to hit the floor. Okay, well, you need water. Well,
Why's
I can't
the room
walk.
spinning?
I can't walk there anymore. Well, that's because the roofie.
Dude,
you had an
Cosby
interesting coach. Your coach is like, that's the
Jay
roofie.
Cosmopolitan.
That's the roofie.
See, was Bill Cosby your coach?
A
Okay,
roofie
Bill
colada.
Cosby. This is a good one. Scott,
God, this
Scott,
is not a good
listen, Scott brought this up. All right. How'd you word it? Okay, they're the victim, but here's the deal. He's been married since Gilgamesh. Okay, like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby. I'm pretty sure was born married. These women knew this. Okay, so no one's ever brought up the fact that these women were trying to have an affair with a married man
No.
when they were drugged.
Hey, it's a good idea.
What are we talking about? We talking about affairs?
With married men.
So
Who do you know that's married?
I wonder what happened.
Adulterous, huh?
Your sense of humor, I wonder about a lot.
Huh.
But
Whoops.
I'm Will. It's nice to meet you.
so
What an introduction.
About par for the course with most of us. How we all met Ashlyn. I go, what the fuck?
I think that's how Scott met me.
He was like, what the fuck?
having sex.
I think Scott didn't expect me to be just as
You were-
depraved as he was.
I didn't.
You were married and he came.
Oh, yeah.
in.
Well,
They
he
just-
came and just raped your
Oh,
home.
what would you
That's what I
walk me,
did.
He
walk me
literally-
through that introduction?
And you offered him a drink?
I don't remember what. I don't even remember how I met you. What's weird is growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in. I don't know if this is just the way my dad was, so it was the way we did things, but we never really talked to our neighbors. Like, we didn't hate anybody. If we saw them on the road, we'd
Oh,
say
that ain't
something.
gonna last with Scott. He gonna talk.
No,
to
right.
you.
Scott came
You're damn
across
right.
the road
He go
and
back.
started
Hey,
talking.
mama and them.
And I was like, I don't like this. This ain't how things are supposed to be. What's going on? But he never stopped coming over.
Yep.
And it worked out. That's it. End of story. I got nothing else to say.
How your mama and them. That's a great. That's the Pickens County greeting.
The what?
How your mama and them.
I
Your response.
I haven't spoke Pickens in a while.
There's only one response to this.
I've been living in Greenville.
That'd be good.
You say they good, they good.
Okay.
Okay. No one wants to hear if they're bad. Even if they're dead, you say they good.
They're good. They're
good.
better place now.
Now, if you're in a hurry and you don't have time for a full how your mama and them, you say, how about you? You just throw your hand up, but you can't say that and then stick around because you had time for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just
That's
keep
keep walking. How about you?
How about you? That means don't talk.
Oh my god! I wish I knew that one. The first 19 years of my
We'll talk
life.
to you at church is basically
You
how that
had
was.
another good one. What was it? You had another good Southern-ism. Every time I would throw out the "How your mama" and them, you'd hit me with it.
I don't remember. I've got a lot of them.
I know you do.
I mean, you see the people I hang around.
Go ahead and enlighten us. What's a food that no one outside of the state would know?
Grits.
I've got a few. No, grits? Come on, man.
I was all through the South.
Oh, duh.
Potato biscuits.
Chow chow.
Oh, chow chow.
Potato biscuits are common.
But scalloped potato biscuits? Like sliced up potato in a biscuit? What about corn biscuits? You ever had a cream corn biscuit?
I've had a cream corn biscuit.
Yeah, I know you have.
And they are motherfucking delicious.
They are amazing.
Something that's not rare down here.
Put cream corn
Chocolate gravy and biscuits.
That's right.
Yeah.
What?
Chocolate.
Yeah,
Oh,
chocolate.
no,
We
I
talked
know.
about that earlier.
Listen to this. We go to Gatlinburg. We go to a place called Mama's Kitchen. This little commercial kind of tourist trap.
Was this before it burned down?
After. So they have
They've
it's
rebuilt.
Pigeon Forge. So they have chocolate gravy and biscuit. It was chocolate gravy on a waffle, to which I'd never had before. Ashlyn says, "I know how to make this." I said, "The fuck did you say to me?" I was like, "What do you mean you know how to make this?"
And you never
You
have.
ain't never fucking made it. So she made it. Gravy biscuits. I'm sorry, but the gravy was chocolate gravy.
With biscuits with sugar on top and cut them in half.
You gotta stop talking.
How you feel right now?
I'm hungry.
Anyway, so that's a food. But I think cream corn biscuits, that's a good one. Potato biscuits are good.
I can't think of anything particular to South Carolina.
I used to have salmon patties, biscuits, and pork and beans. That was a meal.
Are salmon patties uncommon though?
I think the combination that
Okay,
we
something
have.
Oh.
that is uncommon out of the South is milk and cornbread.
Oh God, no! My dad
No,
eats.
not buttermilk and cornbread.
My dad eats buttermilk and cornbread.
My dad, when he was sick, what he would want is a glass of milk with cornbread and onions.
And for you to leave.
Oh yeah, he always
Get the hell out of here!
he'd have cornbread mashed
But
up,
you bring me that onion and you
chopped
get the
up
fuck
onions.
out.
yeah, and chopped up onions in a cup of milk.
You know what we have to do? That sounds absolutely disgusting, by the way.
He does.
You know what we have to do? That we have to get my dad to come on the show. We got to figure a way out.
You getting a phone call?
Oh, they'll be alright.
With your dad, you just have to get him around here talking and then just turn it on.
I don't want to do that to him. See,
Nah, he might go into a flashback and kill every
my
one of us.
dad is
I won't be here that day.
my dad's. We call him. All my friends pretty much have adopted this nickname, but it's Mr. Sir because that covers all the bases. But
He demands more respect than just
Okay,
calling him
let me put it to you this
Mr.
way.
or just sir.
I've been around the man for 20 years, and I still call him Mr. McConnell.
I mean, it's just I have none of that in me. Like I didn't inherit any of
No.
that.
So take all your feelings.
McConnell,
Are you really into Anthony?
probably.
So
remember him.
take all your feelings for Luke.
Candace?
Probably it's like
However you feel about Luke,
the opposite.
just do the opposite. That's how you'll feel about
I mean,
him.
it's like
That's how much respect
I'd probably
you
hate
have
him.
for that man.
he's
No,
like,
just you know how little respect you have for Luke.
right.
I have a lot.
Little to none.
So far.
Well, you haven't known him.
I have a
that
lot
long.
yet.
He's. I don't, there's not really a good way to sum him up.
He just-
Okay, I'll start with this. My father,
The
My
whole
grandfather.
is greater than the sum of its parts.
they cut these trees down 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Okay, and this is the lumber that I use for this wall. My dad built his house.
Built in the 70s.
My dad's built like 13 bedroom houses and stuff, and he's like a great contractor and all that. I don't think they build custom houses anymore.
They do, but
No,
I mean,
not
it's few
really.
and far between.
But,
It's not like it was.
He owns this construction company and works harder than any guy that works. I mean, it's like he comes home still covered in like dirt. I mean, he doesn't have to do this. He's well.
He loves it.
He just loves to work. He's
one of those men that can't sit still.
Even on his days
yeah.
off, like he's in the woods,
Yeah.
like cutting trails and doing stuff.
He's a veteran from Vietnam. Highly decorated.
He sounded like a military guy.
Silver Star, Bronze Star. Wait, I mean,
So, we
Mr.
wonder
Sir.
what the hell happened with Luke?
I don't know. See, but there's
It skips a
I don't-
generation.
Our generation is just bitch made. We're all bitch made.
Oh, we all had video games to play.
Video games are awesome.
What? Well, they are, but what did everybody have during the?
Hey, tell her what game you mentioned that you can't wait to play.
Far Cry 5.
Wow. They said in synchronicity.
And,
Yeah, boo.
and she's
Speaking of
leaving
cold,
now.
hey, where are you going? Are you going to get Oreos and milk?
She's gonna make some chocolate gravy.
No, she's going to play video games.
Sure, my PS4.
Oh, I've never played a Far
Speaking
Cry
of
game
cults,
yet. Yes.
how about let's talk about Jim Jones?
Who's that?
You know, don't you?
Oh my God.
You don't want to drink the Kool-Aid with us?
Oh, the guy that made everyone kill?
Jonestown Massacre.
Like,
People walked out of Suicide Squad going, "That was the weirdest Jonestown documentary they've ever seen."
ha, that's funny. That's real funny.
Yes.
I see what you did there.
Yes.
I mean, if we're asking, I do.
Or begging.
You know, I don't. I think that people gravitate towards cults and gangs and all these other things because they're seriously lacking a moral.
Backbone.
I want to use the
No.
word sinner.
Yeah.
You know,
I wouldn't even say that. I would say they're lacking family.
that's what it could be.
A
though.
purpose, direction,
agree.
a glue,
Exactly.
a meaning.
But what Scott's saying, family, I think that is typically what's missing.
Yeah.
I mean-
look at all the people that followed Charles Manson. Okay? That's a perfect example.
Or Marilyn Manson.
So-
it was a joke. It was a joke. It was a bad. It fell flat. My bad. Keep going.
Let's
you
talk
need
about
to-
him falling flat. Did you hear about him a couple weeks ago? He started scaling one of the props on the stage, and it fell with
he
him
got
on it.
struck down by the hand of God.
Nah, I just hope he's okay.
Oh, he's fine. He's Marilyn Manson. Of course
Did
he's
he really
fine.
have breast implants, or was that just for that video?
I think that was just for that album.
That was something
No, because
weird.
he's done actual roles in films as himself, and he didn't have breasts.
He's a bitch, apparently.
Yeah, it's all shock. It's just glam.
No.
Like, it's his
Like,
style.
apparently he used to be like... Trent Reznor actually said this in an interview about him, that at one point in time, Manson was the smartest person in the room when it came to music and knowledge and stuff like that, and now he's just a fucking fanboy.
Well, that's because he joined the occult and learned all kinds of things. What's been hidden from the rest of us?
See, I don't, tell me this. What is the grove of?
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
Oh, that's where
Oh.
presidents go and fuck
Yeah,
each other in the butt.
It's where the elite gather
Is it
together once in
legit?
a while. Yeah, it's a real thing that happens. What happens inside of it, who knows? Now,
Butt stuff.
I know
That's
that
what
this will
happens
discredit
inside of
us on the internet, but Alex Jones snuck in there and has documentary footage of it. And they do a mock druidic ritual.
So he doesn't get his fingers wet with milk.
No, so you can get you deep.
You're such a bitch.
It's so you can deep.
He doesn't
So
like to get his
just
fingers
wait.
wet.
You are such a bitch.
It's not fingers that when you pinch them, they break.
You're a bitch,
Just
man.
watch. Just watch my mouth. Continue.
So Alex Jones snuck in there and got footage of a mock druidic ritual. And over the PA system, because it's all theatrical, right? It's not real. You hear animals and people screaming in the agony of death during this mock druidic ritual under a 40-foot owl in the middle of the woods.
What's the owl for?
Well, it's an ancient occult symbol.
First of all, you're not getting it. I mean,
Wait, I'm just gonna put this out there. If I'm doing this right,
see all this time he's putting on this. Watch
if I'm doing this right, hit the like button.
wait, hold on now.
If Luke's doing it right, subscribe.
There you go.
Hey, look at this.
Subscriptions just went down.
Oh my god, we have -1 subscriptions now.
I think I have like 20.
YouTube is now
30,
censoring our channel.
Hey, listen.
I
my
mean,
weight is
that'd be
clearly
good if you
superior.
had on a dress, and you was worried about getting drops of milk on your pretty red dress.
He doesn't like to get his fingers wet, guys.
You probably don't.
Oh, God.
I hate that.
He got used to keeping them dry from sucking all them shafts.
You've never played a Far Cry game?
I never have.
So let me put this on you. Since 3.
That shit's killing
Three was the pirate guy in the desert, right?
Since 3, they have all followed at least somewhat of a similar story arc to Heart of Darkness. You ever read Heart of Darkness?
I haven't read it.
King Leopold's Ghost.
I haven't read it.
Journey into crazy insanity.
I've read Hatchet. It's the best book ever written.
Why?
Why? I don't know, because I liked it.
Defend that claim.
It was too real, whereas other books are all about dumb stuff and how you feel. This one was about being a kid and choosing to live over dying.
I'm reading a book right now, but I talk about it all the time, so I'm not going to talk about it right now.
Good.
You haven't talked to me about it.
Fuck,
He's
got
actually
us there.
talked a little bit about
The Heart of Darkness.
all his Russian stuff. And that he's
The
talking
Gulag Archipelago.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good. I think it should be required reading for anyone that lives in the country called America.
Yeah, so should
Hatchet.
Hatchet. Look, I have a hatchet in my vehicle.
strictly because of this book.
Just because that book meant a lot to me.
I have a gun in my vehicle.
Because it's it's a duty for your work position.
No, my other vehicle.
Oh, he's got two Oh, so do I.
Oh, rich motherfuckers over here got 2 cars.
I got 2 pieces of crap that cancel out to about 1.
I don't have 2 vehicles.
No, you just have 1 overpriced Chevrolet.
I actually have 3.
Oh my
3
God.
overpriced Chevrolets.
It ain't overpriced. It's gonna get me through till I retire.
You got GMC Sierra?
Silverado
Z71?
off-road.
Ah, yes. So, is that what Z71 means? Is it off-road?
Not anymore.
So, what does that actually mean?
It used to be, because not all Z71s are 4x4 anymore. Or 4-wheel drive. You got to get it special. The off-road, they're just different packages. The off-road
just trim packages?
is this, and off-road is the suspension. Used to be a Z71 off-road was a 4-wheel drive, but not anymore.
Gotcha. I have a Colorado. Well, you saw it.
Yeah.
But I want to trade that thing in or get rid of it and get a 1500 Z71 or something like that.
I love mine. But so if you want 4-wheel drive, make sure it won't be, make sure it is 4-wheel drive.
Well, that's what I got the Cherokee for. But I'd rather have all my vehicles be 4-wheel drive if I need it.
Right.
We got to wrap this up. Time's sake. I will say one thing though. What look are you going for with the beanie?
It's cold outside,
So
and I just forgot to take it
because
off.
there's a look you're achieving.
I'm not a
well.
hipster.
It's not it.
you say
almost.
with the beanie or with the
We're
beard?
just beanie and the
Okay.
beard. There's a movie.
Is it the Jim Carrey one?
Yeah. It's a Bill Murray movie.
Jim Carrey.
Have you ever seen The Life Aquatic?
No, with Steve Zissou.
Yes.
So I'll tell you this:
That's the look you're achieving.
I'm not the biggest fan of that guy's movies. Not Bill Murray, the director.
Okay.
I'm
not either.
But I mean, I'm a fan of Bill Murray. I want to see it for that reason.
I'm a fan of
Hey,
Bill Murray.
one of the
personally.
tapestries, I'm covering the ceiling in tapestries. One of them is Bill Murray wearing a George Washington general outfit.
That's awesome. All right, so what were you starting with? When we were talking about Far Cry, and we got way off.
yeah. So they have great stories. From 3 on, they have amazing villains. Like if you like bad guys,
Yep.
you like good bad guys you can really sink your teeth into.
Mm-hmm.
They all have them. The pirate guy is Voss, and Hoyt Volker. There's 2 bad guys in that one. And then in 4, it's Pagan Min, who is like the leader of this. He's kind of like more of like a dictator. He's really good. He's
Interesting.
crazy. He's crazy.
His name is Pagan Min.
Pagan mean. Is it?
Where was 4 set?
4 is like in the Himalayas.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like the descendant of a. The plot is your dad was a rebel leader in this place against pagan men. Your mom left and had you in America, so you grow up an American citizen. She dies, and her last wish is for you to return her ashes to a mountain in the Himalaya in this country. You go back, and pagan men knows you're coming, and he kidnaps you because he knows that you're the descendant of the rebel leader. But he like looks at you kind of like a son because he loved your mom too. It's a really weird situation.
Sounds interesting.
It's very interesting, and you basically lead another rebellion against him in the steps of your father. But he is insane. They're all insane. That's the cool thing. And this newest one is the cult. So no doubt they're going to be insane.
All good villains are totally sold on their insane ideals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Karl Marx.
Exactly. But Far Cry really has captured bad guys in the past few renditions.
Gotcha.
So
I'm also very excited about Death Stranding. Have you seen the trailers for that?
yeah, but I haven't seen gameplay.
I don't think they've done gameplay releases yet. It's mysterious, and it's dark, and it's looming, and it's a huge world.
They say it's third person. I'm happy about it. I like third person games, especially if they're co-op, and someone said Death Stranding is probably going to be co-op.
That would be awesome.
So, because I imagine the last Metal Gear co-op.
I played Metal Gear Solid 2. I tried to finish 3 and somehow got caught up, and I haven't played 4 or Revengeance
The
or
new
5.
one's what I'm talking about. Phantom Menace. Not
Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain.
What was Grounds?
You didn't play Phantom Pain?
Mm-mm.
Take this out back. Oh my god! Seriously, it's like the best.
What was was Ground Zeroes? Was that 4? Or was that an intermediate?
It was a prequel to the Phantom Pain.
It was a prequel to Star Wars 2, the Phantom Menace, or 1, whatever it was.
Well, you know why they call it the Phantom Pain?
No.
You know he's got his arm cut off, right?
Didn't Ocelot have his arm cut off? Or are you talking Snake?
Snake.
No, I didn't know that.
No, it's not. You're not playing Snake. You're playing
Raiden?
Snake's father.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he has an arm cut off, and soldiers can still feel phantom pains in their limbs.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
That's awesome.
I
figured that's what it would be, but I just wasn't sure.
Side note: guess what the plot of the Phantom Pain revolves around? What the big plan is the bad guys have?
Cut off Snake's head.
Kill Snake?
They're trying to control the world through language.
Oh, interesting.
So like
Now,
in
it's a very-
Halloween 3 when they try to control the children through voice sounds in the mask.
Well, this is a very literal translation. Kind of. It's more like that. Actually. It's not so much doing away with words, even though I think it's built on that. It's they are.
Like jacked up truck.
There's a virus that spreads through one particular language.
I just don't like them jacked up.
Like the Nephilim. I'm just kidding. That was a huge jump. There's gonna be that one guy on YouTube that's like, "Oh my god,
he's gonna think you're a fucking genius."
I'm not, but I just know some things.
You were making like a comment. He's gonna be like, "Oh my god,
how much does he know?
What does he know?"
Front 2 doors.
Not a lot, but I
you
don't know. We'll see in the
I
future.
never look at the camera. I look at
One
that
side
to
door
make
and
sure it's
passenger
recording. I
side
never
and
actually
the
look at the
back
camera.
door.
What's up, people?
It was designed
Hey, Mama and
for
I can go.
But
trail ambulances and stuff like that.
I just want to cut their mics whenever they do this.
Kind of like before.
Because we're recording them talking about whatever.
Yeah,
Right. Well, hey, do you want to do a sign off? Who's doing a sign off? You should do a sign off.
What does that mean?
You know, like a.
basically say bye.
I mean, you know,
10-4, good buddy.
you gotta do like.
Sorry, there's a 1081 we need to respond to.
You gotta do a little plug, man.
A plug for what is this called?
The Drakecast. Oh no! This is the Drakecast off topic.
Thank you for all watching the Drakecast off topic. Come back next time so we can talk about some more stuff.
Jesus Christ, that's beautiful.
It's not.
It's like our best sign off ever.
It actually is probably the best one.
Okay, well, I'll be back.
That's how bad we are at this. We told you when we started we didn't know what we were doing.
You need to like beatbox for him while he does that.
I don't want to beatbox. You beatbox.
Hey, you know he's mad because he knows he can beatbox.
I can't beatbox.
Bullshit, man. Listen, I bet you can.
I can't do it.
Look at that shit. So Scott could beatbox.
You can beatbox.
I can't beatbox.
You like Eminem now with that fucking hood up.
Oh my God, no, I don't. I'm too fat to look like
It's the
Eminem.
calm before the storm.
Bro, tell me about Trump right now.
He is the greatest president ever.
Do you not remember Ronald Reagan?
Dude,
So, yeah.
Do you not remember Harry ass
Reagan was
Truman?
a communist.
Everyone's a communist.
All right, pop quiz.
They work for
what
the Illuminati.
president was the... Hold on. Oh, I can't think of a fucking nickname now. Let's do a pop quiz. That's how we'll sign off, though. Pop quiz, asshole. What movie does that come from? Don't say it! I know you know it.
I know Pop Quiz Hot Shot.
Pop quiz, asshole.
Pop Quiz Hot Shot. Suspect has a hostage. What do you do?
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're doing the right movie, but you're doing the wrong quote.
So you
Yeah.
speed.
Training day?
He had a fucking chance.
No, he didn't.
And you said it.
I didn't hear.
Speed. You shoot the hostage.
Yep.
Oh, yeah!
Speed.
I haven't can I go back and change the movie thing now?
Go. You do your.
Oh.
Give us a quote. Give us a pop
Oh,
quiz.
how about this? Let's end it with your favorite guilty pleasure movie. As in, what no one else would like. Mine probably be The Mask with Jim Carrey. It's a class. You gotta love it.
Man.
Guilty pleasure.
Because I just
movie.
watched the video of him doing Cuban Pete.
Talladega Nights or some
Is it
shit.
safe to say A Night in Paris?
I know what it is for me.
Go ahead, Scott. Scott's already got a guilty conscience.
The next thing you know, we out here looking like a monkey trying to fuck a football.
Oh, that's the Replacements. I don't know.
Days of Thunder.
Oh,
Because I am Cole Trickle.
listen,
Days
The
of
Replacements is a good movie, though.
Yeah, it is with Keanu Reeves. But Days of Thunder, a good movie.
Man.
Which has John C. Reilly in it, who starred in Talladega Nights.
You're right. Yeah, he was one of the crew members. I forgot about that.
Yep.
I don't know, man. What's your guilty pleasure movie? Is it porn? It's porn.
Well, I already said A Night in Paris when you guys weren't listening. He hangs his head. I gave him the best sign off and the reason we can't keep
She
the show
looked
going.
veiny in that.
She did look veiny in that.
I don't remember.
Never seen it.
Yeah, you have.
I have no interest in
I'm not endorsing this.
that
Don't go
flat
watch
as
it.
a fucking
Don't do
bored
that.
skank naked. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I could have swore we met her that one night in Columbia.
Oh, the ladies' man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, with Tim Meadows.
My name is Leon Phelps.
Yes, well.
and you are talking to the ladies' man.
Well,
Like
fine,
somebody
maybe Tim-
put 2 Christmas hams and put them down the back of them pants.
No, what you need is a fish sandwich, and you need to do it in the
Yeah,
butt.
can I buy you a fish sandwich?
I don't know, man.
Was your daddy a meat burglar? Could look like somebody stole 2 fine hams, shoved them down the back
For
of your
you,
butt.
it's Vanilla Sky,
I know what
faggot.
it is. No, I know what it is. That just came to me.
What?
It's called Goon.
I know what you're talking about.
With stiff.
Oh,
That
You
movie
Tremors.
is amazing.
Tremors.
Tremors.
Yes,
it Trem-
Tremors is my favorite.
They're
guilty
making a
pleasure.
TV show. They're doing a Tremors TV show.
Goon is. I've probably watched Goon more than any other.
Don't they have a sequel to Goon?
I don't think so.
Or they're coming out with it? Yeah.
Do you guys remember the first-person PC game that came out forever ago called Myst,
Yeah.
No.
where you dropped on a world by
Yes.
yourself?
We played it. I don't know if you remember.
Amazon has it, and they're turning it into a TV series.
Why?
I don't think there are going to be any cast members, but it's going to be like the most in-your-head TV show ever.
Dude, we used to play some badass computer games back in the day.
Doom.
Nah, like Black and White.
Oh, Black and White was good.
There was nothing like playing God. Like, it was crazy. Like, you build all these towns up and stuff like that, and people didn't worship you. You could make plagues and take their food and throw them out in the ocean.
Oh, that's what I did with Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, pretty much the same
Dude,
thing.
I'd set it up so everyone would walk across like this huge, like this hallway of acreage, all the way down to over here where all the rides are. As soon as everybody got there, I'd start removing all the bathrooms, and then I'd and then I'd trap them all in there.
Welcome to hell.
And they're all like running around, throwing up on each other and
Play a
dying.
game.
It's not even The Sims. Everybody did that in The Sims. I was doing that in a roller coaster game.
On mass levels.
That is pretty upsetting.
That's demented.
Well, then you might like what I do in Assassin's Creed Origins.
Okay.
I go around and kill as many innocent people as I can, and set them all on a pit and fire in the middle of the city.
So I didn't like the Origins at all.
It's not that great.
Here's my thing: the RPG formula does not fit it very well. By RPG, I mean level, like enemies,
Skill trees, stuff like that.
I don't mind skill trees. I don't like it. If I shoot you in the head with an arrow, you should die. Don't care if you're over my level.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, and it used to be that kind of game. It was a skill-based game. Now it's not.
I also, what was I going to say? God, I just had it was there in my tongue and I lost it because you kept talking, but that's not wrong.
He turned into Mr. Pickles for a minute. Like, it sounded really weird. Like, you sounded like the sheriff from Mr. Pickles. Oh, no, Mr. Pickles!
Right, we got to do this. Do your sign off again. That was really good. We're going to let you
What's the name of the show again?